Guys, yeah, 2 o'clock, quick recap for you. We'll get right back to it because what an afternoon developing here. We are positive across the board, heading towards a positive week as well for all three of these. That's how things stand right now. All three U.S. markets back to the upside this afternoon, 2% for crude downside. Even Bitcoin and Ethereum trying to get in on this. This was the note that started this all off. The Saudi PIF fund, there was rumors floating around about a possible buyout, but that word right there surfaced as well. Uncooked. So this was posted initially on Betaville, which is a blog for M&A activity. They use this term uncooked all the time. Regardless, doesn't matter. Anything with a short interest this afternoon going to be on watch. What a midday it was. Let's get right back to it. We'll throw it over to Neil and Sean.
Wow is all I can say,
that
man.
Was
you
wild,
guys,
man.
you like.
Well, it is wild.
It's actually good that I wasn't on the air, honestly, because you guys would have been probably gone crazy with me. But wow, thanks. Great job by Sharif. Great job by Luca there. Come over to my screen and I'll show you exactly what was done. Long out right there, 16. So long 9, long 12, out on that last halt right there. We don't have the top, but that was absolutely insane. We went long right here when it first started, man. We saw the update. Oh, and if you were wondering right now, oh, it doesn't show my positions, let me just get out. And then you're going to see a bang right now as those positions are going to load up. We are short Rivian. So here's the, we tried it, and we failed. And then we're like, nah, let's go again, baby. And it just opened up right there, and now it's to the downside, goes Rivian. So we actually made almost as much money on Rivian here, it depends where we go, as we did on Lucid. So this has been an absolute, I mean, Neil.
You don't see this every day.
These are the good days, man.
This is what
back,
this
baby.
is the best. So
we're back.
As a day trader, I tweeted this one out. It's like, how can you go from like a scalp trade at $9 on Lucid to chasing a move $3 later and not lose? My Lucid day is weird as all hell because I was in and out like several times off 9. You can't even tell that those are wins. And then suddenly it's going 13, 15. I was out at 15 because I started saying, when this sucker comes down, it's going to be ugly, and I don't know where it's going to be. And I started going over to Rivian. I'm like, Rivian, until finally, like that last halt down, I'm like, short. And then when it opened back up and the first sign of a turn on Lucid, it's like short more Rivian. You could have done it with Polestar. You could have done it with Fisker. Some of the other like squeeze names like GameStop apparently still going, but it's all about these ones, man. Still in some big caps. We'll talk about those at some point. But Melon Husk, thank you for the super chat. Sharif, this is for you. It says, thanks, Sharif. You saved me $2K based on the tap info. Lucid down halt. Made good money on the way up, 17.8. Another one here. Thanks, Sean, for the notification on Lucid. 1,800 win there. So this is what it's about. We're here to let you guys know what's happening in the market. We see the real-time tap value, so we can always tell you. Right now, Lucid is indicating a 1272 tap.
Ooh-wee.
It's here. That's down here. So that's why I'm holding on to this Rivian. I think Rivian could go all back to 19 if Lucid gets to like 12. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, you know, I hope nobody's stuck in this one to the long side. We always say pay yourself out in these types of moves. So I know how it goes. At the end of the day, what goes up must come down. Stop orders are tricky when it's halting like this. So try not to get trapped in a halt because you can just float $2, $3 at a time here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, we won't be speechless for a while, but that was just like exhaustingly fun. And I mean, the thing about trading is like, I'm almost, like right now we're long Intel. Like I don't even care about the rest of the market. That's what I told Neil. Like we're back long Intel right now, all the way here. And we've been getting it out. So we got a great little trade off the 50 level for Intel long as well right now. So we're just cruising. It's been an absolutely amazing opportunity here.
What?
Look at Tesla. I mean, we were going to use our trade of the day here today on Tesla, but like, look at this. Look what we did on Tesla. Look at this top that we have. We're not even talking about this. This is 178.50 First take 177. That's $1.50. I know. I mean, Tesla yesterday had us. Today we have them right there. 174 print on Tesla. That's $4. That's a $4 winner right there. So yeah, man, we are jacked up. We're ready to rock and roll. I mean, get ready. If this goes back up, breaks 180, we're going to get out of Tesla. We're going to hold that short as well, man. Rivian did make its way back to the upside, but never fear, the profit, you know, has already been taken right here. So nice little move down, and then we took that, boom, right there. There's the open of Lucid. Boom, there's us taking it to the downside. And just to wrap it up, if you're joining us right now, there's my out on Lucid. So we held it all the way up. I don't know where this was going, $100, $500, $20, who knows? But we held it all the way up and then came back in. I told Neil too, like when it halted up here, my stop was a break of 17. Yeah, then all of a sudden the tap, which is now 13.30 by the way, the tap was all of a sudden 15. And I said to Neil, I better change this. So I canceled it. When it opened back up, I just watched it trade, took the 16 fill, and someone named Bob is your uncle. But that was a good one now, and we are now done that one. So
the tap is actually good for trading.
Yeah, we can explain the tap. That's theoretical auction price.
So what that is, it's like, they're taking the orders that are going into the auction, the buys and the sells, and saying, if we open the stock right now, this is where it would have to open based on the equilibrium. And when, like, Lucid halted at like 1780, when it shifted from a tap of like 17, essentially it was like 1780 to 15, I'm going to show you guys the Rivian chart. Here, Lucid is halted, and I'm short on the Lucid halt. This, what I'm adding to it on the way down, that's when the tap changed from 17 to 15. It's like Lucid's going to open that far down. I don't give a darn where Rivian's at. That's a short because if Lucid goes down, Rivian's going down. So it's huge information for traders to be able to have. We don't mind. When we tell you guys, it's in our system. If you don't have it, then you should be asking your broker about that because it's incredibly valuable. I do have other trades on. They don't seem as exciting as they did before. We were long Meta at 48. We were then long Meta at 49, shouldn't have got out. Then long at 51. Each of those has been a banger. It's at 152.5. And I'm still long on Micron. That's over $1 in the money. Remember that 63 long? It's on the way to 65. You know, we already scalped it. I tried to buy the dip, never got it. This is off to the races as well. But outside of that, it's about the EV names. It's about the squeeze names this afternoon. And the fact that the market's up 1%. Nothing wrong with that.
All right. No, man. Thank you. Again, thank you for joining. You've now found the best trading show on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the super chats. I think we got them both. There's another one. Thanks to Luca. Yeah, hit the like button and the subscribe and all that. Thanks, Vaughn. Thanks to Luca for the Lucid breakout at 974. We have that same trade right there. I got out with 3K winner. I mean, it doesn't even matter the prices. I want to thank Luca as well. What a great show Luca and Sharif had there for you guys, and we're gonna try to beat it. I don't know if we can, but that was a monster move. That's funny. I have the same price as you. I had like 982 or something. We got a lot of them out here, 10, 1030, 1040. Then we held it. We took more long on the 12 break. We got some out at 13 and 1250, 1280, all that stuff, and then we just let it ride all the way until eventually clearing the last piece out right there. Now I'm just focused on
1 minute it should be open.
1 minute. Okay, so let's just keep it on here. What I was going to show you is, look at Fisker, FSR, right? I actually logged into my account and was like, maybe I just get rid of some up there, and I didn't. I probably should have when we were not on the air, so that's something that we're okay to do. But up there, 860, now we didn't do that. Now it's falling back in, so my trade on that was this guy right here, our friend... Hold on a second, I'm just gonna make sure I get the orders out here. Rivian, short there, 21, short again, 2070. Now we're in the money here, 50 cents. So let's see where this one goes on reopen. So Neil said we're almost open, so let's go over and see this. If it continues to go down, I mean, I'm already short Rivian. I have a bid here at 20.05. So if it comes down to that level, then we'll get that. But for right now, we're just going to sort of hold a little close to our chest. We are also, I mean, I'm not in Lucid. We might take it if it halts back to the upside. Then we'll probably get into something for Lucid. But for right now, it's a great day. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And we'll wait for it to open up. I mean, Neil, we're both looking on the same stuff.
Yeah, any second now it should be open. There is a chance. Like if it goes like a second halt, another halt down, and maybe bounces off something like a 10 or 11, I think anything like 10 is probably an awesome long. But at this point, I'm just looking for a sign of a turn to cover more shares of Rivian and then start thinking about a long. But I really want this, if it breaks down further, you're thinking about a long here, but it's just 13. 13 to 14, $1 range is almost meaningless when it's floating from halt to halt. I almost want to see it get to a significant price level. If it gets through 14 even, I'm punching some out of Rivian almost instantly. So I'm watching Lucid. I'm not even looking at my Rivian screen. I'm just ready to go out of half of my Rivian if this breaks 14 even. If it halts into the downside, at that point, I'm basically going to hold on. I think Rivian can see 20, and I don't think I want to long here till 10 or 11. Now, if you're trading Polestar, if you're trading Fisker, then this is your futures right now. They're all going to follow, and once this floats to the downside, there are going to be some potential bids to happen, and I'm thinking 10 because it's a round number. 11 is reasonable because 11 was that first halt to the upside.
Wow.
So one of those two levels, oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, we just broke down again here. This is going to be good. I'm going to get 20s on. I'm going to get a bid in front of Rivian at 20s. I'm showing you the chart of Lucid, but how about I just do this? I just put a bid in front of 20s on Rivian because that's what I'm in. So as this falls to the downside, I'm looking to catch that fill on Rivian. And if this jams back up, I'll probably just punch some out. But this is wild action, guys. And ultimately, you don't see this happen very often. Halt down, halt down. It's about to halt down on Lucid. If it's going to go into a halt, do I want to punch some out? Yeah, I might take some Rivian out. It's going into a down halt. I think the next down halt is going to be a potential long. That's only because if it goes into a halt 1250, the next one's going to be right in that pocket where I would have to imagine there's going to be a bid down there. Okay, so I just covered some.
I went long, actually, so I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, like I just covered some. So go back to Rivian here. I just covered some right on that halt. I have a little bit of Rivian left, but my thought is there's going to be a long in Lucid, and I'm looking for it off of the next reopen. So if this one opens down again, I'm thinking long off 11 or long off 10, throw a stop, get one halt to the upside, and then you're good to go. So the tap is 1220 right now. It's indicating it'll still open to the downside. This is not going to go down forever. Not with the short interest, this is gigantic, right? And if there's anything to a rumor like this, consider how big the shorts have been on this one. It was already in an upward trend. It's still through the 50 period. There's a lot fundamentally about this is still strong. So I'm looking for a bounce play now. We've seen that before with GameStop and DWAC and all those other ones. When it unwinds, there is usually a second round. I'm looking for that second round. First, I got to get out of Rivian too.
All right, wow. So I actually took the long there in Lucid right here at I'm long at 1260, but we took that. We tried the long at 13. It didn't work. We got out. So we're going to try again right now. Not big shares, man. We don't know where this thing's going to go. It's a lot of fun, but it's very dangerous as well, right? So let's be careful. It just did drop down into this $12 mark. If we break below it, I mean, you can't really use VWAP or anything like that. So sort of, your techniques of how you've been trading this sort of changes here, obviously, as we start to, figure out exactly where these levels are, so on and so forth. So let's try to be as patient as we can here, but we do have the trade on, and we do have Lucid. So let's see, we're long right now at 1260. You can probably see that. And as Neil just so eloquently covered, we do have Rivian short as well. I took a piece out there, and this for me now is basically a hedge. I mean, you know what? It's at 21. Maybe we'll just take another piece out right now. Well, here it comes down. I don't know. All right. Let's buy some 20s and we'll get out of there. All right. So now we have a little bit less on Rivian. You can see sort of, what we did here, right? And that was, it was pretty simple. Shorted it, we watched it, we saw that it was having a couple issues there. So that's what we did, right? We got out of the way here on Rivian, shorted it, and now we wait. So we wait with some patience here and see where we go. So right now, Rivian starting to do a little bit of a dance, and Lucid is right there as well. We are going to get ready to go do the trade of the day coming up, but it's going to be Lucid, your trade of the day, and I'll discuss it when we go. But honestly, for right now, I got to be at my desk, man. Rivian, 55 cents in the money. Tesla, $1.50 in the money. While all this has been happening, there are other names to trade. But as you guys can quite clearly see, I'm a little distracted right now. So
have to be.
You have to be. I think you have to have all. Yeah, I mean, that's
a couple of things. I've been saying, people have been asking me what the theoretical auction price is currently on Lucid. I've been putting it in the chat. But we should say, for anyone that's not in the chat, you got to be a subscriber to be in the chat. It's $12.20 is the theoretical auction price currently on Lucid. I have Rivian up because that's the one I'm currently in, but I am looking to trade both of them. It is worth mentioning, how much time do we have? Okay, we got about a minute or so. So I just want to go to GameStop very quickly before. This is actually holding up. Now remember, I got out at 15 on Lucid, and you see kind of like it rejected that 15 break, came right back to 15. Understand those big option levels. I haven't looked at the chain or anything like that, but I got to imagine there's probably some activity at GameStop if it gets close to 25 bucks. So it's holding up right now. I'm not saying it gets there, but the closer it gets to 25, the crazier this one could get. It did not pull back with the rest. Thank you guys for pointing that out. That's kind of wild. GameStop did not move an ounce. Well, it pulled back a little bit, but it really didn't pull back that far when this started unwinding. So be very careful with that $25 level. I wouldn't be shorting it unless it rejected 25, like break 25, fail 25. That would give you maybe like a day trade type short, but that's a crazy one. Brendo?
Meanwhile, market back to day highs. They're trying to get back to day highs here, guys. I just saw a note on Tesla trying to get back to day highs as well. Elon Musk confirming on Twitter that he met with Biden administration officials Friday to discuss EV and electrification goals for the current administration. So Tesla just popping back to the upside here, trying to get back to day highs.
What?
Yeah, we got to get some more likes going, guys.
Yeah,
Fahad is really disappointed, and we need to get some more. So it's only 2:16. Let's get those like buttons going. Maybe we can set some sort of a record. But right now, you were talking about GameStop. So
Why you got to do me like that, Fahad?
now that we were doing, what did he do?
No, he zoomed in when I was making
He zoomed
face.
in. All right. He used to blame Lucas for that, if you don't remember. Okay, so here we go right now. Lucid is now open. We are long Lucid. Let's see if it works. If it breaks 12, we're gone. We're now long Lucid, 1260. You know, just a shot to see, right? I mean, we have our out, whatever, man. I mean, it's not a big position. It's like pretty small considering where this is going, but we don't know where it's going. So
if it breaks back up the whole price, I want to go.
We're gonna go. Yeah. So we have Rivian. We're watching that one. Here goes Lucid. I don't even need these guys right now because I have the stop order in, right? So if that breaks lower, we're gonna get out. It looks like Looks like our last shot here will be a bad one. Trying to go long, and we are out. So that was easy. Out right there. Bad trade. Not bad. Yeah, bad trade, but that was worth a try for me. 10 times out of 10, we do that. There it comes right back in. I mean, can this go back to where the talk was?
Honestly,
$10?
I would 11 is like the 10 to 11 is the ideal channel for it to go back down and make a reversal. Like up here, if it breaks the whole price, I'm going to try to go long. I'm going to get out of Rivian when I do so. So like that's what I'm looking for. Like I would have loved to see 11, but if it breaks the whole price to the upside, it's worth a shot. And then just throw like a 12 stop or something like that. It has to break out though. It's got to show me that kind of relief, and once it does, I'll go for it. As long as it wants to reject, I want lower. Like I don't know if I'd stand in front of a level until it gets to 11 bucks. And even then, standing in front of a level is almost like a crazy trade. You know, like it's hard because the problem is that you're very likely to get wicked out. The spread is going from 15 to like 30 cents whenever it wants to, then it's tightening up to 1. So the algos are in complete control of this. And if you want to run stops, it's really easy to do so. So I want to see it going upside because I feel like once it bounces up, there's going to be one shot at one halt to the upside. That's what I'm kind of thinking. There'll be one up halt, and then it's probably done again, just because it's all a rumor. Oh, and by the way, 4,100 on the ES incoming. So Meta's great. Micron's great. I'm going to assume things like Alphabet and Amazon and Microsoft and all that stuff is fantastic too. So congratulations on your market longs. We're about to break 4,100 on the ES, and all we're talking about is Lucid and Rivian.
Yeah, I went long again. They're off 12, so we're just going to have to wait to see whether or not this goes or not. I'm long again right now, 1209 right here. I don't know. It's not a great trade yet. Hopefully it does go back. I tried it again. So we lost the first time. You guys saw that trade. Now let's see if it goes one more time here, back up to the upside. Like Neil, I'm just kind of waiting and seeing if it's getting some juice back into it. You know, during GameStop and AMC and all those crazy days of the meme madness, basically, there were opportunities to reload your long position. So let's see if this is one of them right now. Here it is. Now we're 60, 70 cents in the money. It's starting to go back up to the upside. I might just take a piece of this out at 13. If it goes up there and we can get like some sort of a crazy little move happening there, then we'll be able to hold the rest. So here we go. Here it goes. Cancel that. Where's my offer? Cancel that right now. So we are now 80 cents in the money. So hopefully that'll keep going up to the upside right now for this as we regain getting some of our swagger here on Lucid back up to the
Swagger.
upside. Yeah, you know, swagger. You got to have some here in this business. There fails off 13. Okay, we'll put it there now again. Let's take something out here in case this is just a bump up. We don't want to be the guy. I mean, we're not going to get caught. We're in the money here. But let's go 90s, 90s. I'm at 90s.
This should halt if it breaks
I'm at
13, in my
90s. I'm
opinion.
at 90s. Am I not getting filled at 90s?
No.
No, I am not getting filled at. How am I not getting filled right now? Because it's going to halt, right?
It's going to halt. 89 is a halt band, so it looks like it's about to halt at 89.
All right, I'll hold it. I'm gonna
Hold it,
hold it.
man. Hold it. This is like,
I'm
this
gonna
is
hold it into the
basically
halt.
textbook.
Is it going to halt, though?
If it halts, halt, baby.
Halt.
Halt,
I mean, I
damn it.
have the long. I don't want this to not
Halt.
halt here. Halt.
Halt,
Halt.
halt.
I mean, whoever said, I mean, you know, like
It's 15 seconds.
You
It's the
talked to me
longest
like
15
15 years ago. I didn't even know what the hell halt meant. Halt, and now I'm just like saying it like randomly. Halt.
This is
guys?
like if Zayn
Halt.
was running the 100 meters. You got to wait for him. Like,
All right, there it is. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have this trade, man. So right now we are in the money now, over 80 cents on. Do you have it or no?
Yeah, well, I took the break.
You took it, okay.
I
Yeah.
took the break of the halt price, but this is textbook. So this is like a textbook sort of like find a bottom. Like you halt down, and then after the down halt, you find a bit of support. It reclaims the halt price to the upside. You get one halt up. I took some out there, probably shouldn't have. And then you just look for the next reopen to maybe press into 14. So 14 was the top of that last halt. That's what I'm going to be looking for here on Lucid. If it goes higher than that, fantastic. I'm not sure it gets past 15 at this point. That seems a little bit crazy to me. But what a wild ride. I don't think it's done just yet. Fun times trading here live for you guys. You don't get this every day, guys. You got to enjoy it while you can.
You barely get it ever. Never, I was going to say. I mean, it's just when we're looking over around so many different stocks. Look at Carvana up to 8 right now again. So this name is moving. We've talked about Fisker. We didn't even get a chance to talk about this, but I'm in Bed Bath & Beyond. So, I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens right here. We're in this name. We tried shorts a couple times during all this madness that happened. They fell down there. There was a story from Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't even remember what it was anymore. Something more about bankruptcy there. So our first shorts were bad, but then we've sort of been in it and doing nothing right now, waiting for it to break above 65 here on Bed Bath & Beyond. So that's a little area of concern for me right there. BBBY, we are still short that name. Brendo?
Oh, yeah, Brent.
So many of these now, guys, but here's W popping up as well at day highs on heavy volume. 18%, remember, on this one to the short side. So W trying to go now.
They're all
Wow. I mean, this
squeezes to the left of them, squeezes to the right of them.
yeah.
Volley and Thunder. A little bit of Raphael De La Ghetto. That's a Fresh Prince reference. If you guys don't know, but Wayfair. You know what grinds my gears?
You tell me.
Wayfair was a technical long at 60. Like, forget about all this other nonsense. Yeah, just remember the 60 level on Wayfair. I'm chuckling about it because it's actually not that funny. Like, this is actually a really, really good breakout long, regardless of this even happening. But you know what? Sometimes you get a bit distracted. Clearly, we've been distracted by other things. Man, I hope somebody has some of these other trades out there, because as good as this is, like, Lucid's fine. We're not complaining about it. We're not complaining about Rivian or Tesla or whatever it might be. But look at how clean that is. You just identify good levels, identify good setups, and you sort of go from there. I'm glad Brendan brought this to our attention, but I feel like that's one not to necessarily chase, because if I remember correctly, there's actually room. Yeah, there's room to like 70 to 73 there. The Lucid tap is 13, which is basically flat. It's a 12.89 close, and the tap is at 13. Just for you guys that are checking on some other names, Tesla's pressing toward 180. So, wow, Tesla. I have no longs in Tesla today. It's jokes. But Lucid's going crazy. So I did short it myself at 75 to 73. That is what you call getting very fortunate to get out of a short at that point. But it's getting crazy. Let's go to Brendan at the desk here.
Just watching a couple of things here, guys. There was another note on Tesla back to the upside there on a little bit of a volume spike off of that White House note today. But man, 8% yesterday, remember, 11% today for Tesla. Just a huge move as retail investors are back in full effect. Wayfair, 14% to the upside. Let's take a bit of a pause here, and we'll review a couple of things from this morning. If you were joining us in the pre-market, we touched on a whole bunch of stuff. Sean's going to review one of his trades from this morning.
All right, yeah, not from this morning, but from right now. I'm going to be talking really quick because I'm in position as we speak. Look, today's trade of the day could be nothing else but Lucid, man. I mean, it's going to be a monster move to the upside here. Obviously, on a deal news here, the Saudis may be looking to take the whole thing out. And when they do that, this is what's going to happen, man. It lifted from $9 all the way to $18. Our very first long came when the news came. Look at the volume extension, right? I mean, you can see tons of volume coming in there. Plus, we saw the news on from Brendan. So it was just a monster straight up there to the upside. We buy, get them out 10, 10.50. We're like, okay, let's see what happens. And didn't even halt. Then all of a sudden it was like, near, boom to the upside. We're still holding a little bit. Then it breaks 12 and we're like, all right, let's go. This is something into this. Then it grips all the way to the upside. More outs right there. Saw our best out again at 13 because we're just used to taking $1. Like, what is this, AMC or GameStop all over again? Then boom, then now it goes parabolic all the way to the upside to $18. And the thing is, it just kept halting over and over and over again. Now, if you had enough shares on, then maybe you piece them out. But we didn't have that many on because we just kept getting out on the way up. But we did hold one core piece. Now, finally, when it got all the way to 18, the tap came in. And I have Rivian down here. I'm going to explain that in a minute. So the tap came, now it's open. Where are we trading right now? So I'm long right now on this name. Hopefully we don't get out it, or hopefully it doesn't crash down, but we're long right now at 12. And why are we long there? We took that break. Now it's going back up to the upside, so we're $1 in the money as I sit here and talk about this. But the key idea is, I got to go back to my desk before I have a nervous breakdown here. We shorted Rivian. Once we saw that top was probably made there and we could see the theoretical auction price, we went right ahead and we started shorting Rivian early, but kept getting hit. But now look, that's a 21.20, that's a 21, and now, please don't fall down, Lucid. And now we're down here to 20.30. So we make back like 80, 90 cents on the way down here for Rivian. So we go short Rivian and we go long Lucid. Dance, baby, dance. As you start to go back up to the upside right now, we're long right here at $12. Brendan, I'm going to wrap this up. This is brought to you by Day Trade the World. Hit that QR code below. And I'm going to get back to my desk and see if we can't make a little bit more of that money, Brendo.
Did I say 11%? How about 12% now for Tesla? Day highs right now, 180 being tested here, guys, for Tesla. What an afternoon setting up. Let's go back to the guys.
Wild afternoon. It's been a good one. Congratulations
West.
if you got it. This week didn't happen. Like that move on Lucid at the open here, it got to 13.25, but there's been a ton of sellers at that range. I joined them for a third, and now I'm just going to go break even, stop, or maybe just slightly. Yeah, I'm actually slightly above break even. That halt reopen bottom is 85, so I'm just tucked underneath there. I thought that last push could get us to 14 even, but it's not even that strong. So at this point, I don't want this coming all the way back down to 12 on me. I was long on the breakout here, so 50 is my price. I'm not going to turn this one into a losing trade. Tesla's right at that 180 mark, so it's going to get pretty interesting up there, and I do want to trade that off of that 180. GameStop is still hugging 23. If it gets to 25, that's when it gets interesting to me. And I just realized if I even want to be able to short it, I actually have to pay for locates on GameStop. So at some point, going to have to go ahead and do that. Crazy movement here. And remember 41,000. If you're watching anything that's following the market, I don't want to pull away from Lucid, but we're right up at that 41,000. So I've put trailing stops on Meta and on Micron because at this point I'm kind of just letting them ride. I can go to those.
Oh, Tesla went out?
Yeah, Tesla. We'll go to Tesla first because Tesla is easily where I think a lot of people, there's Lucid. I'm out of Lucid anyways. So I don't want that turning into a losing trade, so I'm just going to jump out. Tesla got to 180 and then just pulled a 180. Yeah, okay.
Pulled a 180. I like that. See, that's one that you don't have planned, right?
No, that was accident.
Right. See, and you, that's what I'm saying. Earlier, I did the same thing earlier.
Now I lost my train of, what was I going to say?
You were talking about the 180 break of Tesla.
Yeah, so it broke 180 and did like a false breakout. So it got to 180.50 and then pulled back. So that's one of those trap people above the top and start reversing. And that was the same moment almost that I guess Lucid started turning around. So maybe things are calming down a little bit here. We are at a big level on the futures, so things might start pulling back. That's going to lead me over to where we at a Micron. Let me just double check. I'm going to move my stop to Micron. Yeah, right here, like 64 change. I might as well just go ahead and do it because if this breaks the channel down, there's no point holding on to this anymore. And the things that we've been ignoring and just letting them ride, we're going to go 152, 20s probably here on Meta. just because this is, if it's done, it's done. Fair enough. 4,100 is a good level. We're starting to break back down here, so I want to see what's going on. Someone's saying, good question in the chat. TH, who exactly is selling? If you're talking about Lucid, there's a lot of people that would be selling this move. Like the volume, it's done 128 million shares worth of volume. So you've got to imagine all of the short-term traders that are involved in this, right? You have a lot. I mean, the options are probably doing ridiculous volume. So there's probably a lot going on. It's a Friday as well. There are going to be buyers and sellers. That's why I was looking for a long opportunity. Not because I think this has, like there's a deal that's going to happen here necessarily, but because I know there are going to be buyers at key levels and there are going to be sellers as well. And as it gets closer to the $10 level, I'm expecting there to be buyers. And if it gets anywhere in that 15, I'm expecting there to be a bunch of sellers up there. So maybe it just hangs out in this range and we don't do anything with it, or maybe you scalp it. I don't want to scalp it. At this point, I gave it a shot to break out, and I want to test it lower or up at that 15 level.
Yeah, TH. I mean, it's the same way that, you know, when people are going, you say who's buying, right? And it's the same kind of gamma squeeze when you have people buying calls. Then, you know, the underwriters, the people that are caught selling those calls have to buy the shares back, which creates that whole squeeze to the upside, right? There's tons of videos about all this. We even have videos ourselves. You can check it out at more tradertv.live on YouTube for some more explanations. But it's the same way for ourselves, right? Like I personally was getting messages from people that were getting puts on this thing, right? So now if all of a sudden you're responsible to cover that put, now right here you got to start selling, like, or you know, vice versa, depending on what your position is. So, and you also do have retail like us that might be long at 10 that push pressure selling it back down. And let's be perfectly honest with each other. So imagine you're the Saudis here. You could have done a couple things right now, right? Let's just say you say, okay, we've lost billions of dollars. By the way, right now, Bed Bath & Beyond, we just took 10 cents on that one as that fell down right now as well. We can watch Bed Bath & Beyond right here. But, all right, so now let's watch Lucid. I mean, that's what everyone wants to watch. So, you know, imagine if you're the Saudis and you were kind of ramping up your position here. So let's just say you're long hundreds of millions of shares, something like that down here, right? And then you somehow, conspiracy theory, somehow leak the story that you are trying to buy them all out, okay? Someone at the Wall Street Journal takes $1 million cash from you. Why not, right? Then all of a sudden, that story gets printed and boom, 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 right up to the upside. Now, all of a sudden, you're long 100 million shares down here at $9. You got out at $15, $16, $17, $18. You are the one selling into guys like us buying that stuff. So let's not like think that all of this is like on the up and up. There's going to be obviously stories that always come out about things like that, but that's why we're here for you. We're going to drop the news. Brendan's going to read to you what valid news comes through. And it was a Wall Street Journal news piece, right? So, you know, reputable source. We gave it to you. Obviously, the market hits that as well. If you go back to our midday show, I'm pretty sure that story came out because I went long right away. I think you could have got long if you were watching our show 12:25, like when I did, like 12, even earlier than that maybe. So, you know, I had to settle down. I reread the story over again. I listened to what Brendan said, and we took that. So here it goes. It's going to down halt again. But look what we did though. Down halt, yeah.
Rivian.
So, yeah, Rivian, I'm already. Rivian? You want to do stink face at me, Rivian? I don't think so. Right now we are $1. Well, we're more than $1 in the money on that, but we just took a 20 fill right there, and Rivian starting to get tanked right here down to the downside. Like I said, I'm actually, because I took some of those hits there on Lucid, I'm actually up more on Rivian, believe it or not, than I am on Lucid right now, which is kind of crazy. But there's Rivian. We just got a 20 fill right there, so that's a great looking trade for us. But yeah, Lucid right there, down halts. Oh, I ran back from the trade of the day, and I got that right there, 13.20. So that was a 12.09 long and out 13.20. So now, whatever. If it breaks back down to the downside, we'll get out. We already have our stop in, breaking through $12. Right now, you're tapping 12.15. So that's it, man. It's a good trade. The cash cow is in the building, and now we can relax, sit back, relax, sip some cognac, you know?
Yeah, I just re-entered Lucid here. I just want to play. During the halts, it tends to float inside of a range. Sorry, not Lucid. We entered Rivian. During the Lucid halt, Rivian has had a tendency to either flush or float in a bit of a range. And if it does so and it opens down, I want to be in position short, have my bids out just in case it flushes. But the other thing to watch, let me just move Rivian to another level 2, just so I don't get caught off guard. The other thing to watch, remember Tesla at that 180 level? So we just hit 41 and rejected. And then here comes Tesla continuing to the downside. The next pop up, there could be a 180 short opportunity on Tesla. Try to remember how far this has come in the last couple of days here. Like we were at 140. I mean, it seems like forever ago. It was on Wednesday, man. We were at 140 in the morning on Wednesday, and we just touched a 180 level. So I would not be surprised if there was a pullback on Tesla. It's just been running stops left, right, and center, and you are seeing significant pullback with it. But I'm back into Lucid here. There's other names to watch. Actually, I wish I had gone to... Rivian was a good short, but Polestar was probably better, just from a risk to return standpoint. But all of these have been pretty good. And then the other one, which I got a chuckle out of, it wasn't that funny. It was more that throughout all of that, Mullen could not break 35 cents. Poor Mullen. That's all I got to say. I came over to this.
You thought that would have gone.
Because when everything was going, I was like, oh yeah, Mullen 35. If that goes, that's going to be wild. It's been a good level. But the problem is it just couldn't break it. And I've tried to break both these 2 times for the long on Mullen on the show, and it never happened. I would have done it here today, too. Like on that news, anything squeezing, Mullen 35 would have been fine. It just obviously nothing happened. Lucid tap is still 12.10.
Yeah, not good.
That's essentially flat. But you know what? The more times something halts, the more times you see a halt, like it's kind of calmed down here. Like that theoretical auction price is usually a little bit closer. Like now things aren't as crazy. When it's up here, that's when you might see $1 one way or $2 the other way. I don't think we'll see anything like that because you've calmed down. You're a little bit closer to where there might be some support. We'll see what happens with that. Why am I not trailed out of, I'm close to getting trailed out of Micron. Yeah, the market's starting to come back here. Pretty close to getting trailed out of Micron. Just been hanging on to that one. I said I'd be in it almost all day, and it's a similar thing with Meta. The good thing about what separates Meta for me from Micron is I was long Meta multiple times on the way up. I kind of just took Micron once and then held it throughout the full day. But if we don't break 4,100, we could see a deep pullback on some of these.
All right. Wow. What a great Friday, man. I mean, I'm sure as hell glad we ain't doing the chip challenge today. Because then I would be able to focus on all this stuff. But yeah, what a great move. By the way, we also have Intel. And I was saying to Neil today, like, it's stupid because I lost on Intel and I'm going to lose again here today. Like, we had a great break through 28. We supported the short. We hit the short. We broke it through 28. All was good. But then we got way too fancy with it in here. As it was pulling back, we were short. We were long. This and that. And then eventually we just punched along and then got it all the way back up, all the way. And we're actually still in some long right now with Intel. So let's just see if it continues to climb upside here. Of course, Intel was the story of the day early when we did 120 million shares right now on the day. And yeah, lots of support down there at 27.50, basically where we started going here on the morning. We came back, we defended that 27.40 area and then ripped up, and then that was another spot. So you're going to see it on the board. That price is right. We still are long right now there. I've always wanted to host the prices, right? So if Drew Carey wants to step on, if I host it, man, you're coming on it. So
remember we used to watch that?
All right, we're now open now. That's why, yeah, we do. I do like it. All right, so there we go. Now we'll see here. We're still long. We're long at 12.09, so we're basically long at that opened price there. I believe it did open at 12.10, like we said there. So here we go, upside again for Lucid. We're already out. So the Rivian that we have is very, very small. So you're going to see what happened here. Now Rivian's trying to get back upside, maybe. I don't know. Actually, it's not doing anything. It went back upside a little bit on the reopen there, and it's not doing much. So
I just do a stop on Rivian because the way I look at it is I'll throw it like at 15s here, because if we do get a flush, it's not really going up. When I'm seeing Lucid like just bounce like 50 pennies, Rivian goes up 3 or 4. So that means I still think it's relatively weak because it doesn't have the news. It's a sympathy play. So what I'm watching is, I got to do this. It's probably like an overlay feature that I could be using on our platform. But yeah, see the bounce there on Lucid, these are both 3-minute charts, barely moved on Rivian. So that tells me if you break the low at 12, Rivian's seeing like 1950, 1960. So I want to get those out if it does. But I'm going to have an overhead stop, because if we take this out like 1270, not we, if Lucid gets taken out the top here, 1270, and glides through 13, well, you're probably going to get a relief rally. I don't want to hold this all the way to 1240, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's just going to play itself out. I have my stop order in place. You can see I have my orders down there, so not much to really do. I did get trailed out of Micron, so
let's go,
you got to take profit at some point, but I'm now out of that one. Just only thing left is going to be Mr. Meta, but here comes Tesla. 180s again could come in on a bounce. So I wanted one shot shorting a Tesla in front of 180. I probably won't do that more than once.
All right, so we're still long, and we're 60 cents in the money there on Lucid, but I'm just going to hold it out. Maybe we'd get that dream again, and it just starts to bump up there, and then you'll see me, hopefully get quite excited one more time as well. I won't be too excited because, we're changing up our game here. We're going to be level-headed if we can, and just watch it go. I mean, we have the trade. Hopefully it goes back up to the upside. 16 would be nice again if it can get up there. I'm not calling anything. I want to hear more. Like, why have we not really heard anything else about this? And maybe we have, and obviously Brendan will bring that to us when we do. But
fair point.
For right now, it's like all we heard was, I don't even remember what exact story was there. Maybe Brendan can
we should
let
probably
us know exactly. Hold on. I'm just trying to get the name.
We should repeat it anyways, just because for people.
Yeah, we will. Okay, I'll leave it up to Brendan. He probably has it all over there when he's ready. No rush on that again, of course. But it was just looking for the takeover chatter. The thing that I was looking for right there was, they had secured, what was it, JP Morgan or something for the deal talk. So that to me sort of legitimizes what we were doing right there. So that was like, when I heard that, then it was more like, okay, maybe it wasn't just one of those leaks that happened. If there's a JP Morgan kind of aspect there, but that could also be false. But then why wouldn't JP Morgan come out and say, nah, we're not involved in this, right? So a lot of working parts here, Brendan.
The Saudi PIF fund, which is the pension fund, I think, but it was on that Betaville blog. So the initial report was on that Betaville blog, and they used that uncooked term, quote unquote, uncooked term to describe things that are not qualified, things that are not guaranteed to be exactly the fact. So take it for what it's worth. On a blog post today, guys, this Lucid story, but a whole bunch of other media outlets obviously picking up on that once it does start to move.
There's a mark on that camera. There's. Play another animation. There you go. Oh, hey, look at that.
Oh, okay. I thought
I started scratching our screen.
We're scratching the screen. I'm like,
I got a napkin and I was like, dude. I was trying to get it off and I was like, oh no, in my excitement.
Other people thought so too. Like they were like, everyone was like,
we should do that more often. It's fun.
I was doing the same. That's so wild. Oh, by the way, have a quick look at Coinbase is up 16%. As I choke on that fact. Wow, Coinbase. The first thought I got is where can I short Silvergate? But we'll get to that in a second. Coinbase on an absolute tear. Just pulling up my 15-minute chart here because this is wild. I should double everything that is depressed or short float or whatever is having a good day. Big level. There's really nothing here until there's nothing up top. This could get really ugly on Coinbase if it continues to go. We're through 4,100, and I got to look at some other things here. One of those is going to be Microsoft. I was shorting Microsoft around 48.80 pretty much for most of the afternoon, and then Lucid happened, so I kind of stopped doing it, which is whatever. It's just, that's what happens as a day trader. You get distracted. But if we get through that, Microsoft has room to run at 250 here, and if we sustain the break on the ES, the NASDAQ obviously is at highs as well, then you want to look for some things that can run. There's a big market out there, and it is not just EV names. So, I'm looking at Microsoft. It needs to break out probably at 249 to go, or otherwise you've got 247.75 or so for support. I'll clean up some of those wicks if I get an opportunity. I can't really do anything about that. Tesla, 179.20. I don't want to be shorting it here off 180. The high of the day is $1 away. That feels like I'm just giving it too much room if I try it there. I want one pop that I can get the fade in. Because I'm already short Rivian. I don't want to short Tesla too far away, then you're doubled up, and then if they all run, you're kind of getting run over.
Yeah, I'm still obsessed with everything that's happening over on this side. I don't know, maybe it's not going to move. So, all right, let's just talk about other names here. So Bed Bath & Beyond is a name that I'm sure a lot of you are trading as well, or looking to trade maybe. It didn't really move too much. There was that news story that came through again, and, Oh, there it is. The note just came. Patrick Mahomes is good to go this weekend. So, again, last time he had a high ankle sprain, he threw for 428 yards and 5 touchdowns. So, let's get ready for that.
High ankle sprain.
Yeah, I know. It's true. Like, I was listening to a podcast last night, and they're like, Mahomes should be favored. Like, there's only twice that he's been an underdog, and one is now at home this week. But, you know, Joe Burrow's a different beast as well. So, let's wait to see what happens there. All right. Well, again, I have to go back to Brendan again because this came down during Lucid Madness as well when there was a story about Bed Bath & Beyond again. I think it was very similar to what we heard the other day there where they're most likely going to miss that finance payment come due. But see, look, this is the thing. I just mentioned how I'd like to get some clarification from Brendan. And here he is. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, so they just said they were unsuccessful in finding any bidders for any assets or any of their debt. So they're planning on filing bankruptcy without any bidders, was the quote, without bidders.
Okay. Yeah, so hey, no bidders, no, what do you put bidders in with a drink there? You put in vodka,
there's lots of drinks that you need bidders for.
In there. But so no bidders for Bed Bath & Beyond.
Well, in Manhattan, of course you need it.
Yeah. And downside right now.
I make a good Manhattan, but anyways.
You like the Manhattan. Manhattan's in Neil's favorite drink. Oh, Miguel over there was like...
Old-fashioned too. Actually, that's probably what I'm making.
That's right. That's what I thought about there. Bitters and OJ. Okay. Right now, what I was going to say was Miguel said he made so much money, beers are on him. All right, I'm waiting. Like, you could just send them in here. Like, you can go on our website, find out. Remember that one time someone sent us like 20 tall boys or something? We gave them to the guys in the back there, and we all had a drink after market.
You know, so I feel like you're talking about a day I wasn't here.
No, you were here.
No, Sean, I missed that. I missed the 2 days. I missed the one day our caterer had tacos, and I missed the tall boy day.
Right, because I put the Taco Tuesday. Do you want me to request it again?
It's just ridiculous. We get the same caterer for like 20 years, and one time they have tacos, and I'm not here. I was so bitter about it. I guess I'm still bitter. Anyways.
Yeah, you're not. You weren't so bitter.
I'm like, why? I don't know why I'm so mad about it. I love tacos. Oh, so Fahad just said he's not switching, so we can't look at any charts or anything until we hit 1,000 likes. So we don't get to look
just hit the like button.
Just hit the likes because Fahad's on one of these
come over here. I want to show this right here. Oh, let me just show it at least once.
He's not going to switch. Now you guys have to watch the same shot until we get to 1,000 likes because Fahad's being a Fahad right now.
So he's Fahading everybody. Let me just refresh this.
Lucid's actually bouncing right now, so there's actually things happening.
We could actually be showing people
Fahad.
that
Tesla's
Fahad,
at 179.50.
right
It's actually moving up here.
All right. Fahad's going to be... Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go. People are now. I don't know if they're like
How dare you, Fahad?
Okay, we got it. Okay, now... Thank you, Fahad. So go over to Neil's screen as Tesla's at 180.
See, I just got started. Like, actual trading is happening too.
That's actually a good move, Fahad. We should do that again.
I know. So I'll go to Rivian first because I had that tight stop short. I'm out of Rivian here. The next thing I do is going to be Tesla.
Fahad's a genius.
Oh, Fahad's ridiculous.
Fahad is a genius.
Here comes 180 on Tesla. Going to be incoming here. I've only traded
Lucid,
Tesla
baby.
once, and that was at 175. So it makes sense that the next time I trade it is going to be at 180. Obviously, you guys can understand what that price is going to be. I have Microsoft out of the corner of my eye. I don't want to miss that break when it does come. So if we get up to 180, I want to fade it. That's Tesla. And if Microsoft, what's wrong with that chart? Let me just throw it up here.
What chart?
Look at that one. Oh. If Microsoft gets through 248.80, looks like the fade, or not the fade, the breakout. And Coin, I don't want to chase Coinbase. I don't know, man. I can't chase Coinbase. I'm actually looking back over at Silvergate and just saying, look how weak this is. The next pop on Coin, I want to fade Silvergate. I was doing that, and then Lucid happened, and then I got away from everything that wasn't Lucid and Rivian. That was probably good fade every single pop. I'm going to go over and just get on the offer in front of like 1370s on Silvergate because if that goes green, I'm a monkey's uncle.
I mean, I don't want to get out of, like, I think right now the right thing to do is probably to get out of Lucid. But the thing is like, then, you're not part of the party if it goes back up to the upside. But we already did take a piece out right there at 1320 off the 12. What am I long at now? 1209. So to me, it's got to go there again or higher for me to get out. So I'm not going to take 70 cents right now. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I already used the Bob's My Uncle, remember earlier, guys? So that was a good one as well. Oh, we just got some more Bed Bath & Beyond down there out for that. And you know what? Like, we're in all these winners and not even really talking about them. Rivian, I'm just holding. We got a good piece out there. Actually, most of our outs were right here, as you can see in the 30s. And then it dripped down. We got some teens. Then we got an O's there, an 05. So right now I'm just holding a small piece basically against, I mean, Lucid's breaking above 13 right now, so, or trying to anyways. Looks like it wants to go again. So here we go, man. Let's see if it keeps getting ramped up. I feel like anybody that's now maybe got some accounts settled and they already crushed the long, buying some calls, maybe they're back in there buying more again. So let's watch out to see if that is the case here. Trying to go high side right now on Lucid. We're $1 in the money on that. Yeah, good call. Let's look at Palantir. Someone's mentioning Palantir going. That would make sense to me too. This was, yes, okay. This is also, wow, Palantir, yeah. So Palantir also made a high of like $48 or something like that back in the meme craze days. So this is another name, a little bit of an undercover name. I'm not just saying that because I'm invested in it, as you guys know, but this has been a dumpster fire. So, I mean, anybody that wants to get invested in it now would be getting it at a better price than I currently have. But, you know, this is, okay, maybe I can zoom out a little bit here. Let me go to a weekly chart actually for this. This is on eSignal, so I just want to show it'd be faster to get it. There it is right there. What did I say, 48? 45 right there's the high. So Palantir direct lists down here at 9, and then that was right at 2021 when everything, it's funny because I was talking with the trader Mateo in the back there, and he said that it was a year anniversary for meme stock craziness. And I said, no, it's not, it's 2 years. So it's 2 years.
It's true.
So it's back here in 2021. That's just how fast time went. I think I heard the guys on the midday show also say it was a year, but it's not. It's 2 years right now. That's how crazy and how fast time flies, because I was like, nah, dude, nah, Mateo, it's definitely not last year. It was a couple ago. So right there, nice move up there for Palantir today. Yeah, again, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't short any of these things right now as we watch Lucid. No, you could. I'm going to watch Lucid right now as it's still going higher. Hey, look, we're $1 right now. Right now, we're barbecuing it up today, and I'm just... You can see, man, sitting on our hands right here. But I'm short Bed Bath & Beyond, so it's not, I don't want to say I can't short anything. I'm short Rivian and Bed Bath & Beyond.
I'm short something stronger than that.
Tesla?
But I said I would, like, this is the level, but I let it get above. So I let it get above 180 because 180.50 is the high. So I shorted it kind of in between. Instead of going like 79.99 or something ridiculous like that and giving it full 50 cents, I actually shorted it above 180. And that way I'm only risking like 30 or 40 pennies here. I just don't want to give back what I made earlier short because this is stupid strong. Oh, by the way, a couple of names for you guys as I'm staring at Tesla. Sorry about that. I'm not looking at the camera. You've got AMC at multi-day resistance. You've got GameStop breaking the high. I am watching GameStop pretty closely. If that one can go, I'm out of Tesla. So there goes Tesla through 180.50. But what I wanted to also let you guys know is GameStop is trying to press through this high. I think if volume picks up, this could see 25, and AMC is actually more interesting if it can break through. This is 1, 2, 3 days at this 555 level. If it gets through this, with a secondary push coming in something like a Lucid, if any of these other squeeze names make a secondary one, you got GameStop with $1.50 room. This probably has a good 50 cents, so like 10% up to $6. So sympathy plays can be had. But I'm still looking. The second I sense any weakness in Lucid, the one thing I'm going to do is short Rivian. I'm not getting away from that game. That has been essentially free money. So if I see Lucid fail 14 or 15, it's Rivian I want to short, not Lucid.
All right. I agree with that. We definitely want to be short Rivian if it does pop up. But for right now, we told you, man, you just saw that diamond hands go off right there. We're $1.50 now in the money on Lucid. Let's, like I said, you know, we're gonna throw some popcorn at this and see if we can have some fun. I mean, it's all the way to the upside. This, like I said, this is probably a good out right now. Maybe if we break back down below 13, then you say that enough is enough. But I'm still waiting for more news to come out on this and see if we can't keep popping up here on Lucid back up to the upside. So looks like it got a little exhausted there. You're seeing the volume is nowhere near sort of like some of those initial pops here where we're halting. We're actually lowering our volume right now on this. So. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to use any technical indicators for this trade. I'm just going to hold this pretty much all the way. And if we get this is like fun money now, right? So this is what it's, you know, beer money. You're just trying to like top up the day that you've already sort of had now. A lot of the risk goes in when the first couple moves happen, right? It's risky when you start playing here. Look, we tried it twice and lost. Once there and then once down here before. Well, actually, that's the same trade. Got stopped out once it broke 12, then just bought it back once it broke back above 12. And since then, we've been able to hold on to it. So let's just see if it does have this play in it one more time. For me, you know, just looking to see when it reopened, like there was, you know, shout out to one of our old traders that said 3 halts. This one halted like 8 times before it eventually reversed. So I don't know. I'm going to wait. Hopefully the next halt has a tap higher. If the tap is lower, then that's when we'll start to analyze and possibly say, let's tap out of this thing. And of course, the tap is a theoretical auction price. So we're just going to wait on that one. Bed Bath & Beyond doing absolutely nothing. Our Tesla trade, you know, I'm not going back in this one. So we already did very well on this. We shorted it the first time it came up here. It made, so you see how it was going up here? It was just ripping. But this move right here is parabolic. I mean, you're going to have, this is what, 12 straight candles, and there's one inside there. So 12 in a row, mind one in the middle, straight upside. So when that starts happening, I just waited for a little exhaustion to come in, saw a couple red candles back to back, and shorted it twice. That paid off. We are first out down here at 177. So those are 178.50. So that's $1.50. One of them is 178. One's 178.50. And then it came right back up. We could have reshorted it there. We didn't. But and then it went all the way down here, and where we were waiting at 174 and got that amazing print, like 174.10. We wound up getting there. So that worked out for us for sure. And now I just don't. And there. Oh yeah. Sorry. Zoom back out. We held like it was less than 5% of that trade. 'Cause I was in Rivian and all that stuff, so I was like, forget about it. I didn't even realize it got stopped out at Tesla. That's how irrelevant it was. But then there's the out right there at 180. So we did take a $1.50 hit or so on the last piece, but it was just so small that it was irrelevant. But now Tesla's going to the upside. I would say just respect this 50 period right now. It tried to break it. It broke it by about 30 cents and then bounced back up. So if you're long Tesla right now, I feel like you got to give it back to 179 where that 50 period is. So my mind and eyes are still on all these names, man. Lucid and Rivian, you know, it's got my attention right now. So Palantir, 760, that's a great trade right here too.
Yeah, exactly. And look, when you're trading meme stocks, let's just call it what it is. I find you have to focus on them because they can move so fast, and it is what it is. Like, they can stop you out, they can go into halts. Carvana's at $8, that's at overhead resistance. Like, maybe you could look at a breakout or a short off there. It was AMC that kind of stuck out to me because multi-day resistance level beneath the 50 period, one of the weaker ones. Hey, if it breaks, it breaks. It's room to the upside. But at least there's something when it retests a high, we can jump into a short that's worth the risk just because the market is still... There's other things happening, right? And I don't want to completely ignore it. I'm out of Meta and Micron, but here comes, I should just go back to shorting this level on Microsoft. I can't do anything about these wicks. This is 248.80 is this top on Microsoft in front of 249. And it's been a good short. So I'm just going to go ahead and try scalping that as well. Like, I want something pretty defined where I know my risk to reward. So I'll grab something mid-60s, risk 15 pennies, try to get back to VWAP here, down into 248s, and then rinse and repeat like I was doing earlier, and then give a stop to that 248.80 level. So I'm just going to get that in. I'm not going to chase it. I just want something very, very defined risk levels while I'm sitting in AMC. GameStop, if you're watching this, so yeah, still sort of failing over that high. Like this, GameStop, Carvana, Lucid, like they're all kind of following the same story, except Lucid has a little bit more juice to it. So the others should have an easier path to the downside if they were to flush. Like, that's a big if, obviously. Like, I'm not saying they all have to come to the downside. Just some other names to throw out there. I see you in the chat, Shook, asking about AMD long. Sure, we can look at some of that. I just got Microsoft finally. So Microsoft, we just picked up AMC. AMD, ooh, another wick. That's pretty strong. AMD long up here.
I'd say the market has to break the top.
Yeah,
first.
there's too much overhead resistance. Like the thing about it, like if you're sitting in a long off 76 because you don't want to buy the top and you want to sit in the long here, and if the market takes out the top, then you hit the home run. I did that yesterday with Micron and it didn't work, right? So what I did yesterday was like, yeah, let's have Micron do that. Micron never broke the top, and then I lost. But then look what happens when it actually, just wait for it to actually take the top. And when it did, you get the win. That's what AMD feels like when I look at that chart. So I'm not, you got to do you got to do you. But I literally lost on a very similar trade yesterday on Micron, only to see it work the next day. So that's my 2 cents. Brendo?
A low-key maybe option here. WeWork, guys, has been slowly minding its own business, grinding the way to the upside here. More volume coming in at day highs. This one is about 8.5% short as well for WE.
That's not WeWork, is it? Is that WeWork?
That is okay. That is WeWork.
Missed what he said there.
Everyone's favorite company. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite company. Not SoftBanks. Okay, so we're out. We're out of Lucid right now. So we'll spin that. We'll go ding 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 on that one right now, and we're out. So again, we took the money. We took the $1.20 there. We got out at 26. Sorry, out right there, and you're not going to see it on the board anymore. Oh, yeah, we got to work to get that off. I want to get that off the bottom. You see, Vaughn, that's the stuff I'm talking about. So let's get that off for Monday if we can.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Doesn't make any sense. Like, I didn't make $6 on Rivian, so I'm done explaining it. We're going to... Okay, good. So that'll be gone there. Thank you, my guy, Fahad, right there. It'll be gone hopefully on Monday. But, all right, let's just regroup now. So the reason why I got out is because we can just get back in so easily. And that was right there. So if we take 1350 again, I'm going to go probably 1360. Then I'm just going to punch back in. So if it goes back up, we'll take the money now. I just don't want this to fade. I mean, this looks to me like a normal stock right now. And I mean, if it's not normal and it's going to make another move at some point, it's just, why throw the monies away? Why do that? I spend enough on my kids. Let's buy them something nice and not worry about it. So there it is right now. Yeah, everything's popping, man. Microsoft's popping again. I was going to look at that, but you mentioned it. What about our 143 long on Apple? Too bad we distracted. Look at this. That's this morning, guys. 143 long on Apple, given to you by yours truly on the sticky note right there. Apple 143. That's the print that we got. And that the rest, as they say, is history, which I hate. That's a 145 out, and right now it's at 147. So we'll learn to hold on a little bit more, but this was such a great trade. Within 3 minutes, we were in the money 50 cents, then $1, then $1.50, then $1.50, and then $2. So nice upside trajectory for Apple today. We knew we wanted this. It's on the sticky note for that long as well. And by the way, Tesla long is on here, but we waited for that 160 dip price that never came through. Yeah. It's so funny because yesterday so what we thought of yesterday was going to happen to Tesla just happened today. It was just 1 day late. We were pushing the longs all day yesterday here at 160. And it's not going to show up, but didn't go, and then eventually bounced off of 155, and then boom, shakalaka goes today, up 12%. So if this just happened yesterday, we would have had an absolute monster of a day because we would have never been in trouble. But fighting a stock is bad. We did that on Intel. We lost. Here we go. Lucid may go for that run again up to 1330, but this is why we got out. Very uncertain moments here. Microsoft, I know you want to talk about.
Yeah, I just reversed in it, but my chart just got worse on Microsoft, so I'm gonna try doing this. Can I do that? Is that gonna work? Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of a backup here for myself. So this is Microsoft, so just so you can see the entire day. So Microsoft, this is my trade ideas. I have the scanners up there, so I can use that. It broke that 248.80, so that got broken, and then it just took out 249. So I entered above 249. I'll buy the dip to 248.80. As you can see, there is this morning like a 249.40 is the actual high, but I look at that resistance here and say I'd rather try to grab along in front of it. Microsoft's been super strong. It's still in a tight enough range. That 250 level is the real significant resistance. So once you get to there, I want to be in the long before it gets to that price. So that's why I'm into the long. We'll go back over to someone. It was like Phil McCracken in the chat. Great name. I don't know if that's your actual name, but it's a great name anyways. It was like, come on, Neil, short. Why you short AMC? Boo. I mean, I am, like, my stop is right here. It's like a double top, triple top, whatever you want to call it. I'll reverse it if it breaks, but I mean, as a day trader, like how many times do you get to just sit in something that has a very minimal amount of risk, and if it falls, like you're looking at like 35 to 40s, if it breaks up, you risk 2 or 3 pennies. I mean, that's pretty low-hanging fruit. All the while, I can watch all these other names that are trying to go crazy. Like GameStop's not really breaking the highs when this loads up. That's already pulled back. It just makes sense as a trade. And you got to put trades on that make sense at the end of the day. Like, does the setup look good? Does it work more often than not? Does the risk to reward work? And then you want to make sure you take the trade. I'm trying to pop my trade ideas chart back into the widget. So I'm short on AMC. I don't mind playing the reversal, but the first things first, we're going to go for the short side of it. I am still monitoring both Lucid and Rivian, but until it does something for real, and when I say not for real, but unless Lucid does a move up to 14 or 15, I don't see a real fade opportunity on Rivian. Like I want a real move to happen, like a big move up before I think about shorting something like a Rivian. So I'm going to be very conservative there. And Mark the Realtor, thank you for the super chat here. We don't really ask for super chats, but we appreciate them. We appreciate likes and subscribes a little bit more, or just as much. Palantir in my Discord, I'm seeing 8C Lottos and Carvana. I'm only in Netflix, though. What are your thoughts on Netflix? I haven't looked at Netflix since this morning, just to get that one out of the way. These things are happening. It's like there's other things moving, and then it distracts you from things you might have been watching. Hit enter twice so I can actually see it. Yeah, Netflix is still looking weak. It's looked like this since yesterday at 370, and then there was a 366 shorts. Then there was a 64s that you had, Sean. This is still a weak name. I hate to say it, but it's like it's gone so far, and it's like it got to that 370 level, and it's just trying to find a bid. Maybe it finds it at 360. Maybe it finds it at 355. I don't have I have nothing bad to say about it as an actual company or like where it's headed long term. It's just since it got to 370, this has been grinding down and looking for a bid. I think you're probably 360 or 355. Just looking at this last channel, you're not in trouble unless this thing breaks like 354, 355. But it's not nearly as strong as the rest of the market. The market's screaming through highs, and all this is doing is channeling down after rejecting a major level yesterday. So unfortunately, relatively weak name. Microsoft, I should probably try to cover some because it just got to 249.50. Is this chart still screwed? Yeah, this chart still sucks. So I'll get some out here on the way to 249.50. It'll probably look a little bit ridiculous because there's nothing I can do about it. I can't get rid of that wick. But yeah, Microsoft long. I was short. I'm distracted not shorting it. I finally go back to it and the short sucks. Reverse to the long and it works instantly.
Yeah, it's the thing what I've been learning about all this is like you fight it, and then you finally, when you go the right way, it's like just opens up for you. Yeah. So that's good there. Hopefully we'll be able to turn that around on Softy. Lucid doing nothing, so we're going to move on. So we have done that. So we're short Alibaba. So look, this is a name that's down 1.5%. Whether or not this market continues to motor the rest of the day or not, I don't know if Alibaba really cares that much about it. It's barcoding right here at these levels. So what we mean by that is just going back and forth, not really doing anything up here. So if we do break above, I mean, I was going to give it just basically 119, 119.10 or so. So you break above these levels right there. That wick is 10. So if you break above it, then we'll get off. Oops. Then we'll get off of that. So that's what we're looking at right there. Alibaba, we've started the short. We're about to get more short. So if that comes in, good on that. Right now, Alibaba trying to come in off of that level. So we're going to watch it right here on that. New position alert for me is Alibaba on the short. Averaged up. We only have a small position now. We're going to put a bigger one on. My offer is at... It's actually at 88. I'm going to actually move that. I think we can get, I was right here. Let's move that a little bit higher, and that way we don't have to overly worry about it. So I'm going to go over to Alibaba. I would love to get some more on Rivian right there. You know what? We'll stick with some at 88, and then we'll take more here in the 90s. We got to get like up to 95 or so before we get a little more, because we've just been here, right? So let's we started the short here at 80. What's my price? 80, right? 79. We have a 78 and 80 or something like that, and then we'll wait for 95s now. So hopefully it comes back. There it goes. We actually got some 87s when it just hit that. So now we're a little bit more short here on these plays. So let's wait to see where we go. But for now, we're going to go short on Alibaba. We're going to get some more. If it breaks 1910, we're out. But let's see if this one wants to head back down to the downside here. Alibaba, the short is now on.
Holla.
Short is on.
The beat is on.
The street.
That's a great song, by the way. Little what is that? It's Beverly Hills Cop. That's the one. The heat is on. The heat is on. We're on the way to 250, I think, on Microsoft. But a lot of people are asking in the chat about Tesla. So well, come on, low, baby. There's Tesla. It's still, man, you got to zoom in because look at the day it's had, right? So actually that short would have worked, but I would have had to hold it too far against me, which I'm not going to do. I'm not fighting Tesla. Like to me, like it just either works right away. The short, I'm not going to fight anything like this when it's this strong. So it's back beneath that 180 level, which does mean you could see a bit of a pullback. So double topped at that 180. It's broken a couple of times. There's probably some longs up there, and you could see a decent pullback. I'm just sort of sitting with like Softy looking for some strength. And oh, by the way, yes. How have we not looked at this stock? Thank you very much. Hot Yoko 646. It's a bit of a mouthful. C3 AI up 18%. So I know Sharif was all over this trade to the long side. We'll go congratulations. Yada 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 AI, and then you go up, on the day. Now I tend to think that there's going to be a fade on this at some point. I was waiting for it to go parabolic to 20 before I even thought about it. So it was just a bit of a move up. But if you can see here, you see the volume on that? Like not a ton. You can't. It's hard to tell. There we go. The volume, not that great on that last push, like a big sell, maybe a little bit better than halfway on the next couple of candles back to the upside. So it's not a super strong move when you have a strong market and things squeezing. This is another depressed name. I think you want to see a stronger set of volume in here. And the problem that maybe C3AI has to get back to the high is all the interest going into like the Lucids and the other squeeze names. And that's a bit of a problem because while this was going on its own, you know, it had all this algo volume probably participating in there, lots of eyeballs chasing it. Those eyes are somewhere else right now, and that's why you're not getting the volume to follow this one through to the high of the day on C3AI. I don't want to get too far away from this 250 level without actually taking the rest out of Microsoft because the market's pressing higher and we just kind of rejected 49.72s. So the next time it pushes to 50s, I'm going to try to get out there on the way up to 250, and I apologize for this chart. It sucks. This is what Microsoft actually will forget. Every time I talk about Microsoft, I'm just going to do this for you guys. We're getting right up to that top. We are through the high from earlier. So as long as we're above that morning top, that 249.40, I want to be in the long. But if it gets to 250, I want to be out and then looking for the next trade in Softy. It was like a clean, like break 49, scalp that dollar, get some out halfway, get the rest out the entire way on Softy. You know what I like about these charts too for trade ideas, by the way? I love that you see like Microsoft 3-minute chart. You guys know exactly what we're looking at because I don't have to tell you it's a 3-minute chart. There's a big number 3 right in there for you guys. So that one's going to be working out. And for those of you in AMC, you'll be happy to know I'm a cent away from getting, or 2 cents away from getting stopped out.
Boo.
Well, they want the long.
Yeah.
So,
oh, okay.
You know.
So yeah, so that'll be good for them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I was going to talk about Bed Bath & Beyond. We're actually spinning it as well on that one right now because it's back down to 50. We're short at 60. And I feel pretty darn good about our play on Lucid. I mean, we took it out right there. Again, you know, we tried to have a little bit of diamond hand action. I think we did. We waited. We got exactly the price that we thought we'd get. Not that we thought we'd get, but that we waited for, right? We waited for it to give us an idea of what we wanted to do. So, I better cancel my stop order now. Because we don't want to get into it right now.
Yes.
So cancel all my stop. So I had a stop order to go the other way short because, well, it would have put me short, but I don't want that. If it was to get out at 12, if that broke. But again, we were in at 12.09. My out was that bottom of 11.85. So look, in at 12.09, we take $1. That first one is $1.20. That's $1.30 or $1.20 again. So, you know, to risk 20 cents and take $1.20, to me, that's 6-1 right there. We'll do that over and over and over again if we can get that in there. Now the futures are starting to fall down. Let's just get out of Intel. Intel's all the way up here. I mean, we don't have to. I was actually going to... Now let's wait. I was going to wait. Let's wait until it breaks 28. You want to break 28 Intel? Then we'll take 40 cents and just move on from it. So that's going to be my play. We'll put the stop order in on Intel right there. If the market wants to fall down, what do we want to buy, right? Look at our Netflix trade. I mean, this was going to be the trade of the day, I feel like, anyways, for me, until we ran into Lucid. We shorted Netflix. Look, Netflix is weak against the market today. Down half, market up. There's the first short. You guys saw that. That's That's 64, so that's 50 cents. That's $1. Then it breaks back up, we take 50 cents. So net, that's $2 right there. Then we held a piece. It took us out. So that was only right there, 75% of the position. Then we take it out on that last 25% upside. So that actually cancels one of those. Then we got back into the short because we said, hey, you know what? It didn't even break 265. Let's go short again. And then this was boom, out right there, out again and out again. So Netflix today was a screamer right there to the downside, but it kept bouncing off 62. Should have held it. We had an opportunity to get out there. We took the 50 period back up for Netflix, and it's still remaining high side and can't fall back. Wait to see if the market comes down. You should be able to get a nice 362 break here on Netflix. This is a name that I like for the short for sure if it does come in. But look what's happening right now. The market's starting to go back up to the upside. We do have a full position now on Alibaba, and our average price is 118.89 right now. You can see that on the board. It's going to come through right here in a minute. Rivian short, still 70 cents in the money. We didn't reload it. It's too with Lucid. So I'm just going to hold on to that. We're out of Lucid now, and all is well. So my only most recent position is this guy right here, Alibaba on the short. So what you got, Brendo?
A few people circulating a note here on Apple, guys. There's a picture of the iPhone 15. They're talking about Wi-Fi, which apparently comes from Broadcom right now. So a bit of a downtick for AVGO right now, suggesting that maybe the next iPhone will not have what is in the current one for Wi-Fi.
That recent note that
I thought they weren't going to do that for sure.
Yeah, they were going to go back. They weren't going to leave Broadcom, and that would be good for AVGO. Not great look for them. I don't think anybody's trading AVGO. It's a $600 stock. So for most people, that's not necessarily a day trader's dream. We'll see if this works out, or maybe I'm the jinx. Maybe I'm the jinx because I just reversed into AMC. I said if it broke that level, and it was like, oh, can't you just join the long? No, the thing is, like if you're long here, like buying dips, I mean, that's great. Fine, but I didn't even look at this stock until it was at the high. So short right in front of the high, breaking out that 555. I have 56 long. Let's see where it can go. Like there's obviously room to $6 because that stands out. But then you start thinking 70, 75. So I'm going to get offers out on the way upside. But this market did just pull a reversal. And the first thing I asked myself is, where was my Silvergate fill? Because I should have been short the stock. That's like the first thing I thought about. Let's go back over here. Didn't get it because it's so weak. It didn't pop. It cannot break 1340. If the market pulls back, this should fall. I look over at what happened is happening in Coinbase. This is starting to, come on, it's just broke 62 and it's starting to pull back a little bit. So every time it shows weakness, I want to be shorting Silvergate. And if I have to chase it a bit, I think it's going to be worthwhile. So I'm just going to get into Silvergate if I can at the 30 level. And if this falls all the way back down, well, I think I should have an easy one there in NSI. And then I see people talking about BuzzFeed. Here's the thing. BuzzFeed, this is the same thing. Everybody's eyes are somewhere else. Like it's just once, like this was hot this morning. Don't get me wrong. Like this was a crazy stock. I was long in the pre-market. I probably should have jumped back into long when it broke 3. But ever since Lucid happened, this is done. You know, there's no interest in it right now. The volume is pretty much dead, and it's falling back into the downside. It also had a huge fail at $4, by the way. That is a huge rejection of the $4 level, and that's why you're not seeing a lot of action over in BuzzFeed, which had its own catalyst. It had the meta thing. It's got the yada yada AI thing going for it. So, yeah, that just kind of ran out of steam there, unfortunately. But that's what happens when something else walks down the street and looks better.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly a good analogy right there. Austin Sowers, a good name. You just mentioned that would I reverse into the Baba short? I emphatically say no. Out of the short into the long, no. So I'm not. I don't want to be long Alibaba. Period. Today. So not with the market right here. I mean, it's still 317. There's a lot can happen. I mean, Microsoft was going parabolic, has pulled back. So maybe some of these names want to start pulling back now. I know Neil's in Microsoft, so I'm just going to show it to you because there are some names that are coming back in right now. Microsoft, one of them. Let's check out Meta to see if that's doing the same. Yes, it is. Big pullback for Meta, actually. Apple, probably the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, they're all falling down. The market fell down from 12,300. Wow. Man, did we have that bottom the other day at 11.9. We called it. We didn't have it, so that's stupid. But, you know, nice move to the upside right now, as this might be a time to look at some of your portfolio and maybe trim if you have been playing the long long game and you bought off some bottoms, I'm not sure what the NASDAQ is up this week, but it's been, you know, quite the run here for the NASDAQ. Just from, this is the 25th. It's the 27th today, guys. This was 11,600. Like, you're straight up right now. If you're going to call up a daily chart here for the NASDAQ, you're going to see, like, this is right back there to the 200 period one more time. The last time we touched that, it fell huge right back down to the bottom. So, I mean, you know, buyer beware if you're buying up here, but it's a nice run for the NASDAQ. Let me push this up a little bit so you can see it's a little bit better. Bottoms definitely held. If you're buying down there, the VIX, you know, is at lows right now. You might want to get some risk on maybe from that and buy some VIX, but it's a huge move up right here. And I just want to bring that to everyone's attention that the NASDAQ is on one and it's continuing. I'm going to put this back to a 30-minute chart. So I just buyers beware if you're up here right now. It's a huge move up. What a week. For the NASDAQ and a lot of these names. And it's coming on the precipice of next week coming through with all of those earnings. So let's see what happens, man. Microsoft's already led the way. We'll see if Amazon can sort of knock it out as well. And then we'll just get everybody else after that. So Bed Bath & Beyond, we got out of half of it. I just kept taking 51s. It didn't go down, so we took 51s, and now we'll wait on that one, and we'll go off that. So let's just wait to see. BABA did come down and bounced off of where we're in. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not reversing it, but we still do have Alibaba here at that level. So let's give it a shot to that stop zone that we have. Maybe the futures want to go down. It just sucks because the futures are going down and BABA's not. So let's watch out for that.
Okay, so you guys were temporarily right. Look, yeah, so AMC did go up, and if I went long at 51s and 52s instead of short, it would have gone right away. However, look what just happened. It finally punched through the 60 level. There was a big offer, like 125, 130,000 shares was sitting at the 60 level. It punched through. That's a good place to catch a fill, right? So when people put a stop at 60, or when people have a big order's at 60 and you're long in there, you kind of want to have offers on the other side because if it breaks, you get the benefit of getting filled by other people's stop orders. But then it rejected that break of 60 and it's pulling back in. So the question becomes, can it now hold 550 on the way back? If I dip by, it's got to be around there. That's now a wick top. And suddenly that's a bearish look on a wick top. Can't ignore that. I'm going to add to Silvergate because if the market pulls back here, I do want more exposure to the short side. So that's a wick top. I'd be very cautious with this. I'm long up here, so obviously I'm not going to give it as much room as somebody that was long in the rest of this. Starting to pull back on some of these names. Tesla's still looking actually pretty interesting. Yeah, still at 179, not that deep of a pullback, but you got to watch out for these wick highs. I'm not really checking out GameStop, because I'm just trying to add to this. If we get a flat bottom break on SI, I think we can get down to 13 even. But if you look at GME's already given back off the highs. So if Jimmy goes down, then Amy is probably going to the downside as well. And a little birdie told me that's what I'm supposed to call them. So, you know, I got to get out of this. Maybe the short was originally right. I said I'd flip to the long if it broke resistance, but that is a failed break every time I look at it. And with the other memes coming down and the market coming down, my stop's at 550. I'm not willing to hold this back to VWAP. You got to have risk management, man. I know everyone wants these things to go, but when they fail a level that major, I'm not holding it all the way back into 535. Like, that's just fool's gold at this particular point. What I don't mind buying a dip on, though, please look. I get mad because every time I look at my Microsoft chart, that was messed up. What I don't mind buying the dip on is Microsoft if it can hold that 249. So looks like we're trying to bounce off it now. I'm going to get on the bid. As a matter of fact, I'm already there to try and catch a dip buy on Softy and give it a chance to bounce from here back toward that 250 level.
All right, good call there. Good talk. Yeah, so Jimmy and Amy there. Shout out to our boy Prad, of course.
Prad's the one that told me that.
Yep, exactly. Shout out to Prad for that, as we knew that was where that was coming from. All right, so Intel almost broke 28. Just an update. We're still long Intel, 2760. We'll see if it continues to go to the upside right now. Preferably, I want this market to fall more because we are in Alibaba and Bed Bath & Beyond to the short side with real shares. We've already gotten out of this. Our Babas are full position, so we're hoping to go. full position for what we want right now. If this was in the middle of the day, we'd be taking, or on the open, we'd be taking a lot more. But right now, Intel, I'm just going to hold this into the close. We still have the market on close and balance coming, which should be really spicy today. It's a Friday. It's the end of the month, the last Friday in January here, and it's been like, I don't know if it's the best January in history or not, but feels like it is. Some of these names are just absolutely rocking to the upside. You guys let me know if it's the best January in history. It probably is not. I mean, there's probably better ones, but still feels like it, especially the last couple weeks or last couple days for sure. All right, so Intel breaks 28. We're going to get into that one. We still are short Rivian. That's kind of a nothing burger. I told you, the big trade for me, I'm just going to be focusing on Alibaba. It's up here. The 200 period, we're going to go to Brendan in a second. The 200 period's right here on the 3 minute, so we're down on the 1 minute. That's where I think we can go to. The pressure is here. Let's see if it just keeps on going to the downside right now. It's the only trade that I have on of any real concern right now. That's the Rivian short. Intel long I'm monitoring, but Bed Bath & Beyond also. Hopefully that breaks 50. Give it to us, Brendan.
On the market itself, I threw it in the chat there, guys, but it's 5.25% for the week on the NASDAQ, and it's the best single month so far since last June. So yeah, you're right. Great month for the NASDAQ.
You know, sometimes I'm right every once in a while, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's been the best one ever, but thanks for that, Brendo. Yeah, big move up there, man. 5.5% this week. Crazy. And if you guys are enjoying this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Anything else you guys want us to watch, man? I mean, you know, I'll call it trade up. I'm not really looking at too much. What I do like to look at here, so these are, I'll just give a shout out to Trade Ideas. Actually on Instagram last night, follow me at tradertv.Sean. I was flexing my, my Trade Ideas hoodie last night. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but shout out to Michael Noss who hooked us up with those hoodies there. I don't even know, it was a story. I don't even know how to show stories on my Instagram, so I'm just gonna pass on that. But this is a pretty cool feature that they have, and we've been using this pretty good, and it's the races right now. So it just shows you which one, and can you do a full screen maybe, Prad, just so I can show this a little bit better? No, yeah, almost. There it is. Yeah, thanks. So right now, it's just showing you. So today, Lucid, these are just 3 minute races. It's better to like reset them and then look at them. So like if you just reset and start now, so you're like, okay, I want to find a name that's relatively strong. So it's going to line up my watch list, which is not this, it's 50 names. And then it's just going to pump forward. So today, Lucid 30 times has been the winner. Coinbase 18 times, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond. And I assume Bed Bath & Beyond is going to be on here as well. There it is right there on the losing side, because when these meme stocks move, they're going to be on both sides. And like there's GameStop there as well. So look, there's Netflix as weak, AMAT as weak, PDD as weak, Meta as strong, so we know that. I'm surprised Microsoft hasn't won any right now, but you can see as we've restarted, so now we're 50 seconds in to this race, and Palantir right now leading the way. So unfortunately it doesn't connect with our software, so go to here. Yeah, there's Palantir. Look at the Palantir going, right? So it's matching the chart here. Thanks, Michael Noss and Trade Ideas. This is a good one. We really like this, the races.
Yeah, that's actually one I use a lot as well, because you want to make sure you're trading things that are moving. Like that's just a big, that's why we're focused on some names that you might not see us normally trade in the afternoons, quite frankly. Like, when was the last time you heard us talking about all these? I just pulled up Roblox. Why? Because on my liked symbols list, Roblox was actually leading the way, which surprised me because I haven't even given it a second glance here today. And why is that still in New York? But you want something that's breaking out or going to a new price range or doing high relative volume. We've talked about our vol before. So, I mean, Roblox here, you have a double top from yesterday, 37.80. It just broke 38 even. So if you want something that's going, and I only brought this up because you were talking Trade Ideas and I saw it leading my races. This is now off to the races. And I think about wanting a long here. Like up 5%, it's got a decent sort of, it's got a decent floor at 35 even, so even on a higher time frame, it looks pretty good. But for a scalp trade, like a 38 long, if the market makes some fresh highs going into the final 30 minutes here, we're running out of time for these top breaks, then I'm going to like it. Like Microsoft did the same thing, 49 almost to 50. So let's see if the same thing can happen over here in some Roblox. And, you know, shout out, I wouldn't have even seen this. If you didn't bring up Trade Ideas, I would never have even looked at my race and just noticed Roblox was crushing everything.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we're in.
that's, again, you just nailed it right there,
what are
man.
the
It's all
odds?
about the races, to be honest with you, man. It's you got to find what works for you and go for it, right? I mean, and that's part of the deal here, man. We're trying to make the winners, trying to create some action for you. Palantir really strong. Palantir's bottoms there. And again, you know, I haven't been buying this name, to be honest with you, but I did put some more money to work in and around that $7 mark, and it did dip down to $6, so it was pretty bad. I tell you every time that I'm in here buying these, and yeah, it's nice to see it upside today. I still feel like unless there's news on Palantir, which I didn't hear, I still feel like it's catching some tailwind, or at least a little bit, from these sort of meme crazinesses. So craziness. So let's wait to see
Meme
here
madness,
if
I
you
like.
guys, the madness.
Meme madness.
Is there today for sure. But yeah, hopefully you guys have caught some of this move upside in Palantir, and it's been a good day for that, as I'm getting pretty exhausted one more time. Yeah, it's my kid's birthday. We're going to some VR place tomorrow, so that should be a heck of a lot of fun. And then with my parents on Saturday, or on Sunday, I have, I think, 2 or 3 hockey games tomorrow, plus the birthday party, plus gymnastics.
That's a lot, man.
It's just crazy. The weekends for me are crazy, but they're the best times for your family, of course. And
that's the key.
I spend pretty much every waking minute here or with them. And, you know, sometimes we'll go out. We went out there on Wednesday. That was a lot of fun. And, you know, you still got to live your life a little bit. So Intel upside there, Rivian. I don't really have too much else to go. We did, of course, talk about our play on Alibaba, but that's not moving either. So I just wonder if we're going to have to wait for imbalances, which come out at 350, because right now, unless the market really gets going here, I feel like we've missed the boat a little bit here on Alibaba. It's not moving, and part of me is telling myself to get out now. But if it goes down, this is well worth it. It's not a big position, but it's one that I believe in. So let's wait to see if it hits it. We still have the 200 period up there on Alibaba. I mean, we could. Here we go. We could check out NEO and things like that just to see if there are any, any reasons for Alibaba to go up. NEO's not moving.
Pinduoduo.
Yeah, Pinduoduos. I mean, you traded that earlier.
It's still
these
strong.
internet ones, I guess, are higher. Yeah, I mean, that's trying to take. They're all kind of the same. The only difference is that the 200 period is down here on the 3 minutes, so not up here. So we'll continue to respect it for now. If we get above 19 there, we're going to give it to 19.10, which is that high wick. So I'm just sort of sitting on my hands here with Alibaba.
Yeah, well, I mean, the market just made another push to the high of the day, so it's trying, but every single time it gets up there, I'm going to go to the NASDAQ, because I just got some out of Roblox. Like, every time it goes up and makes a fresh high, you just kind of get that little bit of a reversal. So it's gliding to the upside, but it's not really that explosive. If you're watching for the first time, hit the like and the subscribe. But also, we're trading on a prop floor, day trading prop floor, meaning we have to be out of our positions by the end of the day. So a little bit more like scalp mode when it comes to the end of the day, just because you're running out of time for these. Tighter stops, earlier exits for taking profit. That's always going to be a bit of it. And there's nothing you can do about that. Like, we are running up against a clock at the end of the day at 4. So when I'm sitting in something like Silvergate, it's like, okay, well, the market grinds higher, it goes sideways. Normally, that's a good thing. Market goes higher, it wants to hold lower, it should flush at some point. But I'm running out of time for this to actually make a move here. So unfortunately, I might just have to get out of this one flat. I think if Coinbase does pull back, if crypto comes back, if the NASDAQ pulls back, this should be good. But I have 25 minutes tops to figure this one out. Brendo is ready for our small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll give you a breather. It's been a busy day, lots to have a look at. It was a busy morning. If you remember back to the very start of the day, we were talking about a few small caps. Let's revisit a few of them right now. QNCX, if you remember, was higher in the pre-market, up here all the way to 170. It was a very obviously low price stock, tons of volume, tons of liquidity as well. So not a huge move, but did give you a retest of 150 right at the open. Chance to get short, came all the way down to 104. That was enough for me, but look where we are now. Back to $1 on QNCX. Bit of a grind, but worked out pretty well. BBBY, speaking of a bit of a grind, it's been a bit of a grind all day long. I just used that level from yesterday after the flush and the consolidation. That high was 275. Comes up, tests that, and then fails, and it's just been grinding to the downside all day long for Bed Bath & Beyond. AUVI, another one, took the long on the break of, it was just very obviously strong right out of the gate this morning on the level 2. There was just a ton of buying, ton of buy volume that tried to take it through the day high there, and it did work out for a quick scalp. Comes back, got out of the rest for basically flat. Did give you a secondary push there, but look what's happening now. Again, worked its way into a bit of a grind. This one maybe put on a list for Monday as well. Watch 170, 180 on Monday. This consolidation area could be interesting, but what a day it has been. Make sure you take a second, guys, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Man, if this is just the start, looking forward to next week, guys.
Yeah, about me never having 5-hour energy ever. Maybe we may need to start doing some of that because, yeah, that was, like, I was really excited just during the midday show. Like, you know, these guys were trading that kind of stuff. I was trading it. Neil and I are both in it, both watching out some of those moves, and it was just like, wow. And it's just like you didn't have that chance to sort of like decompress at all.
Oh, not at all, yeah.
You know, not at all today, no. I didn't even, like, you know, I got up and got maybe one coffee there, just hung out, called the wife, whatever. You know, we have our salad lunch here at our desk. I mean, I rarely get up from the desk anyways, but what a crazy day. But there it is right now. Let's spin this one more time. We haven't done this enough. As we're about to get stopped out on Alibaba, first of all, as that looks like it wants to go back up to the upside right now, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it's going up, so nothing we can do about that except for watch it. But there it is. Bed Bath & Beyond does break a little bit lower there, so far so good on that break, low side. So, yeah, pretty happy with how this is trading. It's down now into the 40s. Let's put another bid right here just in case. We took them out at 50 there. I told you that we were bidding some 50s, so we had a 51 and then a 50. That's why there's 2 takes there, and now it's coming back in a little bit for us. Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know, you know, we're just going to play it all the way down. If it gets to 44, 45, that'd be great, and we'll probably wind up being out of the majority at that point. So, yeah, we'll put another one on the bid right now. There it is. We just got it, or did we get it? Yes, we did. A small piece, but we got an out there on the bid. So let's see if it keeps continuing to go down. We are using inverted gateways just to make sure we get the fill. We're well in the money, so we don't need to play that rebate game or anything like that right now. Bed Bath & Beyond, a good winner for me today on this last move. So hopefully that'll be there. Intel's still going up. Lucid, I know maybe you guys are here for it, and so am I, but our last bid, we took $1.20 twice on it, and now it's doing nothing. So that was my out there off the 12 long, and right there again off the 12 long. So, yeah, that's trading. I'm pretty wrapped up right now. Brendan, let me just do this before you hit something. Brendan just brought us the imbalance, 675 to buy.
Well, they flipped it on us. Well, they didn't flip it on us. So yesterday I did something I don't normally do. You guys saw that. If you watched the show yesterday, it was a sell and bounce. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take a short on Meta going into the sell and bounce because it's at a key level. And then if it comes a big sell and bounce overall and big tech is to the downside, I'll win. And it went from a sell and bounce to nothing. And I got promptly stopped out, and the trend to the upside continued. So I am not going to be trading off the imbalance today. Maybe that's the wrong call. It's a Friday. You could get some action. But what I am going to do here is a couple of things. One, we're slowing down on Microsoft at 249.75. So it's right up toward that 250 level. And I'm just going to get on the offer here and maybe take it. I want inverted gateway. I'm just going to punch out. So I don't want to look at gift horse in the mouth. I haven't done that in a while. I have more hair in that when we did that animation. But I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. It cannot seem to break that 250. The market's very slowly grinding as the upside. I'm not really seeing anything that indicates we're going to get that explosive move to go 1.5 in the NASDAQ to 2. So we'll ring the register on that one. I did just buy the dip. Or reload, I should say, because that's not really buying the dip. That's reloading on Roblox on like a 38 level break. So I don't want to give this back too far. It only gave you 10 cents the first time, so I don't want to risk 10 cents on the way back in. I have one short. It's Silvergate, and it's not going. It's like 2 cents in the money. Okay, 3 cents. It's really not that much of a difference. And by the way, AMC, you said Lucid is doing nothing. Ever since I've reversed long, there's your wick top. At least I got that fill, and reject. So I'm still in it, and my stop is underneath here. That's clearly a dark pool print because my stop is at 550, so there's no way it's printing beneath it without me getting filled or getting triggered. So it hasn't broken 550 just yet, but this seems as dead as Lucid and some of the other ones right now. I do feel it's more likely that you get a bit of a dip. I'm not offering on this yet because if it breaks the high, I want it. Either it breaks 550 and I'm out, or it breaks the high, I'm getting out above the high. I almost don't see a reason to get out inside of the range until we're in the last 10 minutes of the day. I might as well give it the room. My stop is in place. I feel the same way about Roblox as well. Time will tell if it was a good out on Microsoft. It was a good trade either way, reversing to the long side off that 49 break. But if we're at 250.50 in 20 minutes, I'll probably be hating myself for covering this.
All right, I took out 10% of Alibaba. Alibaba came right back down, and again, like stupid me, this is going to continue to be the case for what I'm doing, and that is that I called the 119.10. I mean, anybody could do that. But again, instead, I'm shorting earlier and don't have a great price. So when it comes up there, I'm like, I don't want to get any more, which in hindsight, I should have. So the next time I do this and it's late in the day, the problem is when you do this kind of stuff early and it runs you over, then you have 3 times your shares and it broke your level. So you're really going to go 0 for 1, but it's like 0 for 3 because you have too many shares at that level. So here it comes. Let's fall back down right now, Alibaba. Now we're short 91s. Remember, our average price was 89. Our short is really an 89 short right now. So let's bring this back down. I am bidding 81 to see if we can get something out. That's that dime piece that we're looking for. And then after that, hopefully it'll fall back down. So there you go. Hopefully Alibaba can come in. We do have those imbalances coming. So like Neil said, we got smoked, not smoked, but AMD yesterday retraced back to the high side on us on the imbalance. So what was a good short got wasted back up to the upside there. We were still fine. We didn't have that many shares, but we did throw some money away stupidly when we didn't need to. So I'm willing to be that guy again on Intel, and it's only because, honestly, I don't have that many shares. Otherwise, it's not a great move to wait for your trade to come in into that imbalance. So we'll watch it. We still are going to get out if 28 breaks, so it's not like I'm going to take on a huge amount of risk here into this position. So we're going to wait for that to come through. Our Bed Bath & Beyond continues to bleed a little bit down to the downside. So here we are. My bid's at 44, like I was saying to you. So hopefully that'll come down and we'll be able to get that. That's 42. Hopefully we come in. You know what? Let's put a bid at 45. Anyways, we have enough shares to be able to do this because we're almost out of everything, but still have enough on board. So there it is. Bed Bath & Beyond coming in. Alibaba not doing anything. We're going to have to wait for the imbalances on this one. So hopefully the Alibaba trade gives us the imbalance feed fill to the downside here on Alibaba. We're all over the bid, man, in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s. Hopefully we get some bids there as these imbalances come in about 9 minutes. We're getting close here. We didn't fill this all the way up, but we're holding out here on the water. But we're going to drink a little bit more because there's a lot of words today spitting out of this guy's mouth. So
yeah, my throat is like, it's having a rough day. I've already finished my water, man. But it's been a good one. I don't know if we're going to get the flush. Well, I'm going to get the flush that I want on SI because the second I was able to get first bid in there, like we take the first 12-cent move or whatever it happened to be here, it just pops right back to the upside. So you get a fill, it bounces off VWAPs, coming back in. I'm out of Roblox because that started to come back as well. And when you're buying tops, not that much room for it to go. So if I'm risking up 10 cents, actually somehow lost less than 10 cents there. Maybe that was an early trigger. But even if it was an early trigger, I would have been stopped at 4 cents lower anyway. So this one looks like it's coming back in. I should have been looking for a few more shorts off the top. That being said, I just talked about these pulling back, but Microsoft is still at the high of the day. Now that 250 level, you know what? I just said about how I was in Meta, off resistance, into the imbalances, looking for that fade and put a stop at the high. And I'm like, oh, Microsoft's at 250. That could be the same thing. Yeah, I'm not going to do that trade. Not going to happen. Mary N.E., what is happening with a firm? I don't know. I'm going to check. And Michael Travis, not chugging maple syrup. No, I will not be chugging any maple syrup. However, I will probably be having a lot of maple syrup with the pancakes and or French toast that I'm having tomorrow morning, because we always do. But no, what's happening with a firm is it's going to the upside like the rest of the market is. When you get a squeeze or a relief rally in names like this, you continue a trend. A firm has been on a firm rise to the upside at this point. If you're here for the bad puns, then you are going to get your fill of them from me. That's all I got to say. So, it's been a strong stock. You've seen me fight this one before, but when I'm looking for shorts on a firm, it's either when it rejects a level or it's at a key price level. It is now up there in the stratosphere, or whatever you want to call it. This relief rally is going to have an end. There are so many names that I feel like in a I don't know, week or a couple of weeks, they're going to get to a point and they're just going to flush. This could be around 20 to 21 bucks before that happens on a firm, so you don't want to fight it too hard. But its time is coming. Like there's not in this environment. Like I can't look at everything that's going on in the economy and believe that there isn't a reversal happening in a firm at some point. So I'll be looking out for it, but I'm not going to fight it too hard. Let's put it that way. AMC, for whatever reason, Amy doesn't want to break 550. That's all well and good, but it's not going anywhere to the upside either. So pretty unfortunate there. And I'm going to rinse and repeat probably for the last time in SI because it's like 343 here. So we're running out of time for this to work, but it's right back at my level. So I'll just hop back on the offer, see if I can get some 29s or 30s. If I get the fill, play it into VWAP. At this point, the market seems like it's having trouble breaking to the top, but there hasn't been a capitulation either. Super, super strong end to a strong week in the overall market. And today, the memes decided they wanted to join the party.
Yes, they did. And yeah, so someone there and said that we should have amateur traders on the show. Maybe you just mean traders with some less experience. And I'm just going to say that we do have our midday show with Sharif and Luca, which both traders are not as seasoned, I guess, as us, but still provide you with many great ideas, and that's why they're, quite frankly, on the midday show. The experience that people get is live in the markets, right? I mean, you can't, this is something, it's kind of like driving. Like you could take your driver's test, but then until you're out there actually in the market and putting out orders and taking fills and dealing with, you know, everything that comes with trading, it is a difficult one. But I was always going back and forth with the fact that we used to have guest trader of the day, and I still think that that's something that we should do.
That was fun.
Where we had one of you traders come on and explain what you're trading, and you could get to talk to us and ask us whatever questions you want. We could reinvent that, and I think that would be great for the midday show as well.
There's something else we've been kicking around too. So Brad started our Discord channel. So we're considering, we're kind of fleshing this one out, is we do the trade of the day, and we're thinking about like maybe once a week or every now and then, we would be able to do a trade of the day, sort of analyzing a viewer's trade.
Yes.
So the idea would be like on the Discord, like you could post your trades, like your setups, like what you took it, maybe some charts, an explanation of what you were looking at, and then we'd find a creative way to select it, maybe for members only or something, or subscribers only, just to keep it
definitely subs only,
sub, just to keep it reasonable, the amount that we'd get. And then maybe like every Friday, instead of doing one of our trades, we could talk about one of your trades. It's not to say that we know better, but I'll tell you this much, man. Like I remember when I was doing meetings with traders as a risk manager, and sometimes evaluating other traders' trades was like actually a great learning experience. Like I enjoyed doing it, and you could both get something out of it. So I think it's a good idea. But I mean, you have to be on the Discord. I think that's the way we'd pull it off. Microsoft just came back in here, so I just got a 49. I'm still having this. VWAP's down here at 248.75. So I'm gonna stop it out there. This will probably be the last big cap name that I'll have before the auction. Not the auction, before the imbalances at 340. So if it holds support, great. I thought of my reverse 50s. I wish I had gone short, but I did get out of the long. I guess that's half the battle, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Money, 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 money.
Ugh. Alibaba. I mean, we held this one. If you're shorting it with me, then you can spin that your damn self. Because right now we're just putting on, you know, we got the winners on for you guys. I don't know what else to tell you. We've been sitting here at 76 waiting. We just got a 76 fill right there. So as it's coming back down, we're short 89s here. We just got 76. So yeah. Oh, people want to know about your Silvergate. I didn't even know you really had that.
I just reloaded it.
You just reloaded. Okay, so he's reloading Silvergate, so we can talk about that in a couple minutes. Microsoft Silvergate for Neil, Baba, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Intel and Rivian. So I got 4 positions right here. I got to deal with these. Right now. Okay, so Rivian, I mean, every position we have is hot fire right now, so we'll go bang for that again for you guys. So Rivian is an absolute beast today. It's not gonna be my #1 stock, but it's actually gonna match right now. After getting out of this, it actually will be my #1 stock, actually. Tesla, Rivian, Nvidia, Netflix, and Lucid, those 5 are almost all the same net, believe it or not. So, yeah, so far so good here on those trades coming in for today. So, you know, good sort of net management there for me on some of those plays. So let's wait to see if it does continue to pan out that way, but that's all good. And Alibaba is entering the building right now as well. Holy, yes, sir. Let's go Alibaba, man. We're going to call this one an awesome trade. We talked about it for you. This is the one that we put on for you. So, you know, we sort of get distracted a little bit, like Neil said, talking about other things. But I told you about this trade. We have this trade on, and there it is, Alibaba. This is really the one. I said, remember, I was like, I'm not really worried about Intel. I'm not worried about any of these names. It was Alibaba was the new freaking position right there, and that's what we're doing, man. We're barbecuing it up, man. There it is. Good trade here today. We're on one. I mean, yesterday, everyone was like, yeah, don't worry, you'll be back today. We're back. You know, yesterday's results do not matter one bit. We're talking about what's going on today. You throw yesterday in the garbage. I wish the broker statement did that. But right now, we're sitting here, we're trading it, we're having ourselves a blast today. And yeah, it's a lot of that green coming through here. Hopefully you're joining me on some of this. Look at where Alibaba is. Alibaba's at 57, 52, and going lower right now. I had no idea Alibaba was going to crack like this. This is a monster trade for your boy here, and glad to have brought this to you right now. What a good one.
Yeah, what a great one. We have less than a minute to the imbalances. We'll get to those really quickly, but I just want to go over Microsoft. So we bounced off VWAP there. I did take a scalp trade out because it is 350, and I have to have a very tight stop there. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. We're running out of time for this to move. And it's the same thing with SI. I got the reload. It did pull down the first time, but I have to tighten this stop up because if it does push higher, I want to cancel orders, throw a 5-cent stop instead of like a 10, 15 pennies. I just want a tighter stop in a situation like this. And it has nothing to do with risk to reward. It has to do with timing in the markets, guys. So AMC is not going anywhere. My stop is already in place for that. And by the way, Tesla, it got to 180. Remember, it's a Friday, right? So you get to those option eligible prices, and if you don't break through, sometimes you just kind of hang around and run away. But the imbalances just dropped out. Pfizer buy, I don't know, Block is 500,000 to sell. Where are any of the big names here?
The NASDAQ's going to hit in a minute.
Yeah, NASDAQ will hit in a second. There we go. Amazon 1.3 to buy. Apple 600,000 to sell. Kind of mixed so far. Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag I'm sort of seeing here. So kind of disappointing. Microsoft is a sell. I just got stopped out of Microsoft. That's why you put a tighter stop in there. See, like 350 hits and Microsoft comes to the sell side. I was watching Tesla there, but there's no way I wouldn't have a stop in because I'm actually out right here. I'm at right here, and it's already through VWAP, so no need to hold it further against you than you have to. 49 was great the first time through to 50, but once the market reversed, you're actually seeing it flush. They're taking profits here late in the day.
Yeah, let's go, Adam Deleuze, Adam, everybody in the chat. Thank you again, man. It's just, even some traders behind us talking about this Alibaba trade, so we're pretty happy about it. We just took a piece out there again at 50, but now we're just going to hold. I don't have any more bids. Let's just let this thing drop down. Obviously, wish we still had the whole damn thing, but there it is. We said we didn't want to hold anything into the close because of the imbalances, so you know we got out heading into that. It came right down to VWAP, so like as it was dripping down, there's a 75 Prad bid there, Prad, Fahad, somebody, Bueller, right now. There's the first out there at 75. There's 70, down into 60s, and then there's good outs right there at 50. So as it bleeds down to the downside, man, we hit it, and we topping our day off, man. We didn't bring you any losers here. So hopefully you're able to make that money with us. Rivian. Bed Bath & Beyond, we out, bang on that one. Intel, I mean, I don't know what else to do other than that, and other than to tell everybody out there, have a great weekend, and thank you so much for watching the show. And I'm going to be betting on the Eagles this weekend. I think they take down the 49ers, and then I'm just excited for that Kansas City game. I probably won't put any skin in it. Well, I will have some sort of a bet on there, but I say fly Eagles, fly out there, and we're going to wait to see if they can take that. It might just be their year. But look at Rivian, Tank City, man. We're $1 in the money on this. I don't know, man. Thank you for watching. I'm just humbled by some of these trades today, and it was, again, another fantastic day.
Yeah, I saw 3 people just ask about the imbalances quickly, like where do we get it from? So if you get the market data feed from the New York and the NASDAQ, like it's in the SIP, like it's literally embedded in it. So it's just a matter of whether or not your trading platform is feeding you that information. We see it in P-Pro 8 at Day Trade the World in this little widget here. We don't pay anything extra for it, but your broker they might charge you something to entitle that feed. But if you get like live level 2 data, that's typically in the feed is the imbalance information. You just have to make sure you're entitled for it. So I would, like anything else, your broker works for you. So you just ask them, like, I want to look at the imbalances on the NASDAQ and the New York. How do I get it? And if their answer is this is it, then you go for it. If it's worthwhile to pay for it and you see some trades off it, fair enough. But like Pfizer, $1 million to buy on Pfizer. Look what Pfizer's doing. The market's flushing right now. So I mean, yes, it's a buy imbalance, but Pfizer is weak on the day and falling to the downside and just sort of giving it up profits just like everything else is. So the imbalances are not a guarantee. It doesn't mean the market is going to do something or it's not going to do something. You have to be able to respect the fact that it's just another piece of information. Like, use it or don't use it. I find it can be valuable at times, but it's not some hard and fast rule that you can just say, hey, sell imbalance, go short, long imbalance, go up. You see Pfizer, one of the only big buy imbalances, and it's flushing.
I see money, I take money right now, and that's it, man. See you, Alibaba. It's been nice knowing you, my guy. We are now out of that trade. Look at this, man. Maybe should we tweet this out? This Alibaba trade all the way to the downside, averaged into it, into that top of the day, and then it was just, whatever. You guys can see the trade, so we won't even have to worry about it. Rivian right now, you guys want to take this out? I mean, this is $1 in the money for Rivian, so let's take it out right here. If we get low 80s again for Rivian. Again, another trade, all these shorts. Let's bank it out, man, at the end of the day. Told you we're trying to, okay, here we go. I'm waiting at 82, so if it comes in, we'll get that fill. Yeah, forget it. Okay, let's just wait for it. Forget it. There we go. So this is the scalping side of things here. Ooh, I just put an 85 bid. Now it's like, ooh, what am I going to do? Let's go. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out right there. Yes, sir, there it is again. So we'll go bang on that one as we are now out at 85 on Rivian to end that trade. We're stopping at the end of the day right there. Thank you so much for the memberships coming through again there. Thank you, whoever this was. Let me find out. It was Andy. Thank you so much, Andy, for that membership. Everyone grab that. 10 free gifts. Thank you so much. We'd like to have more members on our platform. And it's $5 to be a member, but I want to thank Andy for that contribution right there. What an amazing day. I'm like, basically, obviously at a loss for words, but not really. Alibaba, they're just continuing to make a new move down. Really happy with that trade there at the end of the day. Wow. Yeah, whether or not it was Lucid today, Rivian, Tesla, like we all just...
There's so much.
By the way, Alibaba now up there on the scoreboard for me. But yeah, good trading today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient with me on some of these trades. And we'll hope to do the same thing again on Monday.
It just goes to show, right? Like, yesterday wasn't the best day in the world. I mean, look, it was a great day for some people. I mean, I'm sure some people held on to Tesla on those longs or held on to Nvidia's, but it was a rough one yesterday. But you come back, you kind of dust it off. And I was going to talk about Lucid here in a second, but you dust it off and then you just make it back. And then, you have a bad day, you have a green day, that makes it up. But that's just, it's on to the next, right? Like, that's what it's about. It's about having a short memory. Obviously, it's like a closer in baseball. You're going to, like Mariano Rivera, the guy gives up a jack, he comes back the next day and he strikes out the side because he's like, whatever. I'm confident in what I do. I throw that cutter and I break backs and I break bats. But Lucid, there's going to be a wild move on this probably some point next week. We're going to come back to this, but it's trying to find a bit of an equilibrium. This is not over by any stretch of the imagination. I think we all understand that. So you almost want to say, okay, great. We had a $10 move at one point today or close to it. We're not going to get that again. So we're going to have to temper expectations next week, but there will be opportunities on these as we go to Brendan for the earnings preview.
Yeah, absolutely huge week to come, guys. Apple, Amazon, Google, AMD, just a few. Never heard of them, but they're huge. Monday morning, have a look at Monday morning because there might be a couple of trades in there as well.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize. See, a lot of times you don't get a lot of Monday morning earnings plays, but SoFi is there. I mean, GE Healthcare. The only reason I care about GE Healthcare is because I actually had some GE shares in my long term at the time of the spinoff. So now I actually have some GE Healthcare shares as well, because that's what happens. But SoFi is pretty interesting. That just touched $6 today. So remember $5 on SoFi. It's been trying to break out. Come to the daily chart for a second, guys. Yeah, like SoFi has been going up with the rest of the market, but it's at a huge inflection point. Like if it gets through 6, you've got a big bounce. Even if it's bad, you've got the 50 period sitting back at $5. So there's going to be some awesome trades on SoFi. I'm just hoping that they actually have the earnings come at a timely fashion in the morning and then don't have a conference call at 10 o'clock. Because I hate conference calls while we're trying to trade the open. You kind of, if you're focusing on trading 2 or 3 things, you almost have to ignore the stock because you don't know what's going on in the call while you're trading live.
All right, over about 270 or so fills today, so we are done now. Way too many trades on Intel. It started to go up to the upside. We got get stopped out. We punched out right there at the end of the day on Intel off of that 50, 60 long. We just took it out at 10s. We're finishing the day at our highest spot and, made back virtually what we had lost yesterday. So it's been a good day here today. Let's go. We have the bell coming up in about a minute or so. I don't know. People are calling for Prad to ring the bell, but Fahad will ring it. So yeah, whatever. If Prad wants to, it doesn't matter.
Swap out.
Whoever wants to ring the bell. Now, Prad. Hey, look, there's only one People's Trader, but I thought the People's Production guy over there would also want to ring the bell, but he doesn't want to. So we'll have Fahad coming out there in less than a minute to close this out for you guys. Good question there by Jacob. We trade shares, actual equity, so we have to be flat here. We're on a prop floor, and we are flat heading into every single evening. So we trade firm capital, and we trade physical shares. So yeah, it's been a great day here for us. Look at that, good out on Alibaba as we go. With only 30 seconds left, man, I'm pretty exhausted, and it was a super fun day, and I'm glad that everybody was here to join us.
Yeah, understatement, but it's a good exhaustion. That's the thing. You don't always get days like this where there's nonstop action. There was no point the market slowed down. There was something going absolutely crazy for the entire day. So we're gonna end it off here. The man in black, he's got the slippers on. Why are you on the phone, bro? In 3, 2, 1, and 1.
Hold on. Like I've already done that bit. Like that bit is, I did it yesterday. I called Kathy Wood, remember? Yeah, we've done that a lot, but thanks, Fahad. That was pretty good.
You know what's actually
right there?
Just the other day, I watched a clip of Seinfeld doing a Louis C.K. bit. I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool to watch a comedian do someone else's bit.
Yeah.
It was funny as hell when Seinfeld did a Louis C.K. bit. When Fahad did your bit, no.
It's all good.
But he's not sorry.
It's all good. There it is. Hey, what's up, guys? Right there. We have a big setup here. We're really proud of our studio. You guys can visit us here anytime you want to in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. If you are in Toronto, send an email to marketing. Yes, exactly. Marketing at tradertv. Is there a dot there? .live.
It's .live.
That's it, yeah. So marketing at tradertv.live, and you can come through and visit our office. So send that through, and we'd like to have you guys come by at any time. I'll give you a little mug or one of those water bottles right there. I'll give someone.
These
not
are
my water bottle.
They're technically like milk bottles.
They are. They're milk jugs.
Not that we use them for that. But.
Old school milk jug. All right, Brendo, a little bit of a move down. That kind of was missed there at the end, but a nice move down to end the day. Still a positive one, I believe. Let's go to Brendan at the big desk.
Yeah, I was just double checking. 1.77 for the Dow, 4.8 for the Qs, 2.48 for the SPY. So yeah, positive across the board for the week. Here's how things wrapped up for the day. Pretty uneventful. It's amazing how flat this is. Versus the excitement we had today. 0.08 for the Dow, 0.25% for the S&P. It was the NASDAQ, specifically the 100, and then the composite 0.95. So tech leading once again, guys.
So there was someone in the chat just saying it's new shoe. Can you visit? Look, if you're here, just let us know you're coming. So email marketing at tradertv.live. That's what we're getting at.
I think it was he had an office in Romania, though.
You have an office in Romania?
So you got to talk to your guy and you can come
If you're a Day Trade the World office and you want to trade on the floor, then what you have to do is put a visiting trade request in, and then one of us can accept it. But you have to do that through Metro. So you have to do it in the actual Metro system. If you just ask your TSR or just DM me, I can walk you through that. But yeah, you could visit and you can trade on the floor. That's actually a feature at Day Trade the World. Is if you want to visit another Day Trade the World office, you can actually, your manager messages their manager. If they accept the request, you're then able to trade another trading floor. So you can go on vacation to maybe say Barcelona, Luis, and then get to trade on that other floor. So just let us know or message one of us. We can definitely hook that one up for you.
Tesla, its largest weekly gain since 2013. 33% for Tesla this week. So congratulations to anybody that had it. All right, I'm going to wrap this thing up as fast as we possibly can right now. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. It was such a great show. And regardless if you're a trader or you're just watching today, I hope you understood and took advantage of a lot of those moves and just to learn everything. And if you did want to ask any of us any questions, please feel free to do that in the chat or send an email to that marketing email as well. Join our Discord. I believe you can push it's !Discord. You can get that going in the chat. You can join our Discord. Bears vs. Bulls will help you do that as well. And that's a place where we can continue to talk over the weekend. Prad's all over that. And I want to thank Blind Jedi as well. Thanks to Prad today. Thanks to Fahad for that really funny original bit at the end with the phone. That was great. I want to thank Sharif and Luca as well for banging it out on the midday show. I know that was a little tough because there was so much happening, but they handled that really great. It's the first time they worked together with that kind of chaos.
Yeah,
so I think that was
which
great.
is awesome.
It was initially called Memes and Movers, but maybe we have to reactivate that name if that's what's going to happen. But thanks again for watching. My plans this weekend, as I said, very super busy. It's my kid's 11th birthday, believe it or not. So
yeah,
I will be happy birthday to him. And lots of stuff happening. Big time on Sunday, family on Sunday, friends on Saturday. What about the two of you guys?
There's snow on the ground, man. We're finally going tobogganing. My daughter has been trying to take her new little board down our stairs because she hasn't been able to use it when we got it for her for Christmas. So I'm probably just doing a lot of that and hopefully catching some football.
I've been skiing the past 2 weekends in a row, so I'm actually taking this to do very little, hopefully, this weekend. Just going to stay at home.
There we go. That's something that Brendan does. He skis. There you go.
See?
There you go. You learn something new every day. All right. So shout out. I hope every one of you have a very eventful weekend as well. And if not, hey, chilling is probably my favorite anyways. So yeah, do that anyways. But no matter what, make sure you join us back here on Monday at 8:30 when we'll be doing this all again. So for everybody here at Trader TV Live, that's Neil Brendan and I'm Sean. And we'll see you on Monday. Ciao. Have a good one and be safe.